I don't even know what today's topic is. I wonder if I turn this around if I lose connection. That's the only thing. I might be alright. That'd be better. Unsupported request. Oh, here we go again. Well, even though I fixed the problem, there's problem again. I think I may be live. I'm not sure. If you can see my birds behind me. Yep. He's got a girlfriend. I don't know if you can see that. I couldn't get them figured out which way is the best way to have the birds to be on the show today. I think I'm going to have to get a higher perch. TikTok and YouTube, you're not going to be able to see. And that's okay. That's okay. If you want to see it, it's going to be the video. Any questions you may have or anything like that can be found on Facebook, Medicine and Soultion. That's Soultion, and that's where we have timestamps. Waiting for everybody to come in the room. Hi, I'm Dr. B Power, and I want you to be in power. And I talk about metaphysical things. That is what my degree is in. You can't hear me. Why is my mic doing that? Shoot, I don't know why. I think my Yeti went bad. So I believe my Yeti microphone that I haven't had that long has gone bad. No, it could be another reason. Let's try this. Okay, I'm trying my Yeti microphone. Is it working now? Get in alignment with these new energies. This can be interesting and fun. I can't tell if anybody can. Oh. So when you strategy, you know, enough times that you do this, it becomes a strategy. So I'm going to have to keep healing this out so that this works. And Judy, you may have to start typing me in Messenger because I can't get into. Okay, I think I got it. This is my Wednesday, Thursday show, depending on where you're living. It is South Australia here. And if you notice, which I'm not sure which to lean because I can't see the screen, you will see that... Oh, no! Charlie, dang it! I knew it. You're going to bust it. No. These are not chew toys. Okay. Yippee. Yippee skippy. No. None of that is chew toys. Get up here, younglings. Yeah, I'm going to find a way to... You guys didn't see it, but... Oh, they're cute and adorable. But it's not a chew toy. Now we got a bee around me. I'm going to do some Wayne Cook. That's just going to bring myself back to brain balance. I'm going to do some belly breathing and heart breathing. This is about energy, metaphysical. And if you got questions, a lot of people are beginning to wake up. And one of them, oh, I love the hearts. There I can see April. That's good. A lot of you, if you've never asked the questions, you are going to be staying asleep. But as your soul has this urge, you'll end up having these questions that you can't seem to form at first. You will say them through ego mindset, through the survival mindset. I know, aren't they adorable? But okay, so this is what it sounds like when you're asleep, when you're not really connecting to left brain, right brain at the same time, or connecting up and pulling that energy and being one with your higher self. Oops. Why doesn't he love me? Why do I always track the same type of people? And there goes my one phone. That's dandy. It overheated before it even got hot. How interesting. So I'm looking at a pattern where it seems that too old of devices can become a problem. I'm going to have to say thank you, Spirit, for helping me get two, not new phones, but I need two phones that are not so outdated they can't get updated, because they're overheating. I mean, literally, I had that one on for just 5 minutes, and it overheated. And usually that's not the one that overheats. It's usually the other one. So it looks like I'm going to have a business meeting to get that figured out. Okay. Stop it, Sky. No, that's not a chew toy. Oh, hold on. No. It's not a toy, young lady. It's decoration. Stay away from it. Birds. They're going to be demanding rights soon. Hey, we're the star of the show. Hey, lady, get your own show. I'm watching you. That's Charlie, the big one, and that's Sky, his girlfriend. She's a Corella. He's a yellow sulfur-crested cockatiel. All the rest of you can't see them, but if you want to, you can come over to YouTube or Facebook so you can see them. Again, on a metaphysical thing, the question is in ego, it's like, oh, why? I think this was a live example of how when things from the external come in and begin to do this energy field, okay, to do this energy field, you got to understand, it's external, it's coming in. We have been taught through generations of what they've learned, which is now changing, is that we are it's our body, the DNA is the only thing, and that causes us to be sick or causes us to behave, and it's not. We have a blueprint that has options of what we can choose from. We get to choose them based on how our soul has created the environment, and then how do you react to the environment? What kind of environment do you have? How do you react to the environment? These are all helping us to get through to life lessons. So when I first asked the question, why is this happening to me? Because I sat in the ego mindset going, "Aw," which was very negative in nature, and that'd be below 500. And when that hurts, HERTZ, begins to expand out, then that means that I am giving my power away to the external, And as I give my power away to the external, I have accepted. I have agreed. And I gave up my willpower because I dropped from love. So that's what's called over-identifying with matter. Now, matter doesn't really exist. It is the vibrational rates to which the frequencies are at, and how are the frequencies acting. But if my consciousness is just learning and looking for the first 7 years of my life, because that's what we do brain-wise, is we look, we observe, we copy, monkey see, monkey do. And then at age 7, we start practicing it because our brainwave changes a little bit more. But it is when we hit 13, when our brainwave is like more beta. We can go high beta, we can go into any of those other brainwaves for alpha, for meditation, for learning, for just relaxing. But it's when the hormones start to surge that gives us a different take on how our apps would see things. These hormones is when they're out of, Charlie, where you going? Get up there. Very adventurous today they are. When our hormones, the life lessons from past life will come up in any time. But it's usually when you're around 13 to 15, the middle school years, that you will turn around and make a choice that you're not going to put up with it anymore, or you're going to swallow your energy and swallow the things that hurt you, that make you feel like you have no choice. So you're going to be passive or aggressive, or you can be in between, and passive aggressive. But again, how we operate is usually through programs, and we don't realize we have operating in our false self. Now, what happens when we operate in our false self is that this is where the world seems very negative. It's where it seems like same shit, different day. There's always a suffering, there's a struggle. You're disconnected from the joy flows that are a natural thing that we have. But in the middle school, the 13 through 15, we make these major decisions. We look around at the outside, and we let the environment control us even more so. We are meant to stop over-identifying with matter. Because we have gone, oh my God, we take it personal because we don't know what to do as far as resolve to evolve. We have only known how to cope, handle, deal, manage, pacify. We did what we could, but our bodies and our brain, everything gets memorized when we think and think and think and think, and stress and stress and stress and stress and stress, and we start to warp ourselves into a different pattern that you see before you when you look in the mirror today. Some of it constitutes as chronic, and so those take longer to heal. Some of those that are not as chronic, violation warning, flag for harassment and bullying. Oh, so somebody's being, somebody is thinking it's funny. An age restriction, so somebody else, so there's a whole bunch of people that are on there now. Says, now I'm violated suitable things for not younger audience. So I would say, moderators, do your thing. Do your thing. Okay, then I will get rid of them. Oh. That's weird. What is going on? No, So we have to pay attention how the environment is controlling the idea that I'm sitting here wanting to do a show. And to do the best show, it's got my attention. It's creating a certain amount of stress. Hi, Robyn. What does this look like? What does it do? Having problems buying stars. I'm getting so upset. I'm sick and not feeling good. Oh. Well, Facebook has stars. Coins are in TikTok. The better value is Facebook, I think. Well, I know from my end. I'm not sure about your end. But see, this is where everybody wants the attention. It's high maintenance. The environment can be high maintenance. Not calling you guys high maintenance. Like the birds, every 2 seconds wanting my attention when I am intentionally doing a show. Okay? And so, you know, what does this mean? What does this mean? You can get overwhelmed. You can lose power to it, and your automatic response that you learn as a child can be, oh my God. And after a while, it just starts to grind on you because you know that you're doing it right, but yet something's just slightly off. People, when they get into arguments, they like to blame you and hurt you and say it in such a unique way that it makes you look like you're crazy. They want to take your power. The alpha and beta are all changing. The governments really all need to change. Big things need to crumble. The way we communicate, the way that we educate, the way that we have food, the way that we have expectations, all need to change. And so we're going to be in this transitional state. So when things are high maintenance to an individual, some people thrive on it. And other people, it can be, like I said, very overwhelming. Now, I'm doing my best not to be overwhelmed because I'm standing in my spirit mind going, what does all of these signs actually mean? So it's in the questioning. Instead of looking through that one perspective or the one filter, it is pulling my energy back, going, what's going on? So these were live examples. And now look at the birds. What in the heck are they doing now? But I felt like the birds are supposed to be here, and these little things, like this, my phone says it's going to overheat. I can't do anything about it. So if I lose the one, I'll come back on. So thank you, Spirit, for getting this taken care of. It has gotten my attention. And if I ask Spirit, and this is what I do, I'll spiritually investigate. So why is my phone's wanting to overheat? And what I'm looking at is that it's to show that I can't behave the actual way I want. I have to behave, take care of this, focus on that, live for the outside in order to do what I want to do. Okay? So as I look at everything, I don't need to control it. If I lose that one, you can come over to the other TikTok, which is Dr. Brenda Power, or go over to YouTube or in Medicine Woman Solution, or over to Facebook. So you have other opportunities for Medicine Woman Solution. So I want to provide the best. I don't want this whole show to be about, okay, so you got to fast forward to get to any of the good stuff. But this is about life. So why is it that the microphone doesn't want to seem to be working? And it has a lot to do with that I have to be helpless or victim to. So someone once said to me, as they were very angry and being in their ego mindset, totally wanting to throw energy, which is not roses but knives, because they felt that I slighted them through their filter. I double checked. No, they were projecting something. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to hold space. But the one key word that slipped through was, oh, you're being helpless. And I'm like, helpless? That must be a sign. Not that I have to take on the power of suggestion of helpless, but is it part of that theme that I had growing up? And it was, yes, the energy of the alpha is trying to force me to be helpless. So when I look back through the years, you're going to see repetitive pattern. But have you healed the emotional chemical peptide that's, oh, my stone's missing. The emotional chemical peptide that sits on the cell. Aw. My stone's missing with my key. You have an emotion, and you have to imagine that you have a key that goes into it, okay? Now, when you turn the key, it unlocks, and the energy that comes from the key goes in and feeds, and then it makes the cell activate. And the emotions, the chemical peptides, because we're chemical beings, we have a tendency to vibrate at the code that's in those. I completely lost it. I did not know it. Okay. Oh, sometimes it's just hidden. So thank you, Spirit. So this is our cells. This is a representation of our cells. We are made up of 50 trillion cells into our body. And to make those cells operate and move and do things, it has a lot to do with the chemicals of emotions. We have I forgot what this is called. It's like it's a key, but it's a, oh my God. This new energy coming in has taken, and you have to recalibrate. But let's say this is happiness. Okay, so happiness will click in because it matches this cell. Now, if happiness is not in this cell, it waits for a cell and then it comes in. Then it goes in, turns on, and then energy goes into the cell and the cell starts to vibrate. And you begin to feel what you're thinking. Now, what happens is that you'll be in a negative state. You're going to create a chemical that says, I am frustrated. And then all of a sudden, whoops, your body begins to vibrate in that frustration. Now, because of that, you won't know that you have control to heal that out. Most people have no idea that they can heal it out. Everybody doesn't believe, in some degree, that they can have power to heal. What? Good Lord, are you biting him? Or is that your mating? I don't know. So, his cells received pain, and then the cells respond. We have the power to heal ourselves. We really do. It's something that most people don't think. They keep things separate, and they've learned from a book. They've learned through the passing down that, oh, well, emotions have nothing to do with your physical body. Yes, it does. It relates to whether your heart goes in stress or not. Your immune system, your nervous system, are you going to be in stress or not? Are you going to shut down? Are you going to be in fight, flight, freeze? Or are you going to be in fawn, flop, or fornication? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Most people think that they have to be helpless or victim to the outside or to themselves, like physical pain, which I started to realize that's not necessarily true. So for years, I would have to take an aspirin or something to take care of any headaches, and then you can use your own body and rub certain points that can change the way that you have headaches. I watch people be in emotional shit shows, and then you rub points, and all of a sudden the brain clears up because it's just like, whoa, wait, what? You start to move energy. And now we've got other healing tools that are coming in. There's stuff that you can do physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's the 4 ingredients that create life. What do you need to do? So as I'm watching this chaos I can participate. I can get lost or frustrated. But I can call my power back. Okay? If I get frustrated, I'm losing power. Cancer clears leak, I call my power back. Being mindful of noticing that the energy that left, did it come out as roses, knives, or frustration, fear, what is it? It has color. If you can use color, you'll bring it back. We are sensory beings that when we are more auditory than we are visual, we will hear, especially when we're stressed, we will hear nasty things. This is where a lot of people get confused. When you're stressed, your gift of hearing becomes discombobulated to the point that you're not going to get accurate answers. So then ego, intuition comes in and says, oh, they're talking mean about you. They betrayed you. That's a good question. Give me a second and I'll think about it, and I may have to ask you to give me more information. So when you are using these emotions, if you are not aware that you are not holding the pen, but you have, okay, yeah, you want to respond negatively because that's all you need, your automatic know how to do. But if you don't want to lose that much power or keep telling the universe, bring me more, why in the hell would I do that? The moment that I have agreed to it, I'm sowing, and the universe says, I'll give you more. So it's a karma process. It's a very simple karma process, but you got to stop and go, wait a minute, is that what I really want to sow? So I can stop and go, do I need to invest my energy into being in that pain, that guilt, that shame, and all that is real, but do I want to live there? Now, Nicki says, do you think frustration is a way to process grounding? Now, I'm not sure about process grounding. All I know is that when you're in ego, the only way that you can cope, handle, deal, and process any of that is that you need to express those chemical peptides instead of burying them on the inside of your body. But the problem with just processing that out can hurt others, depending if you're not doing it in a safe place. Because the energy gets explosive. It's like when you hear, when people sing a high note, they can crack crystals or glass or whatever. It's like when you go and you're so angry and you kick a rock, and normally when you kick a rock, it wouldn't go far, but when you're angry, it was explosive and it can destroy things. It's like a tornado. It's the energy. There are times that I need to ground, but I can't, because these chemical peptides are emotions that are actually causing me to not allow my heart to become in a coherent state. And so it changes my frequencies, drawing and in and eliminating happiness. Is that what I want to do? Is that because when I had to communicate with my body and I dropped a fork and I got all mad because I have to wash it, or I got to bend over, it's like, why do I respond that way? It's because this is what we saw. This is what we think is how we're supposed to respond. But as you begin to wake up, it's like, I don't have to. But if you feel it, you can process it by taking, and simple as taking either hand, placing it on your forehead and the top of your head, and letting the electromagnetic of your body pull the blood back up into your forebrain so you're not as stressed. Okay? Now, I need more information for that, Nicki. I don't think that I answered it because I'm not sure if I comprehending the perspective that you're looking at. Now, when you're in ego and you're anger, you got to get it out. So you got to cope, handle, deal, and pacify. So you got to get it out. But what happens is if that becomes a chronic behavior, then you're bleeding on people. You literally, somebody will come in, they're happy, you're taking away their joy. And it's like, okay, if I'm angry, I'm just going to say, stop. I'm not in a good space. I need to heal this. I don't want to bleed on people. I don't want to. And if I'm becoming aware that like when I would be depressed, I'm no longer depressed, but when I was depressed, I hid it well so nobody would see it because I didn't want people to complain or people to make fun of me or tell me to get over it or, it's just like, it's none of your business. But at the same time, my insecurities, my upbringing, whatever it is, I'm not blaming, I couldn't get past that level of thinking until one day it was, I need to find a purpose. And then Spirit, I was praying and all of a sudden Spirit says, oh, you're going to have a baby. Well, there's a reason to get up. But then it was still there. The depression was still there. And I did my best to be there for my family, for my kids, for everybody. But I was dying inside because I couldn't get to my light. I couldn't get to the joy flows that is there to help. I'm notoriously ungrounded energetically, and I always have to remind myself to put the energy into the earth. When there's too bombardment of the environment, I've gotten grounding sheets. I've got grounding shoes. I make sure that I have electrolytes that can help ground me. I use a steel spoon sometimes on the bottom of my feet so it helps my energy to ground. We are made of energy, and I will move energy so that I can feel better. I don't go on the outside anymore. You don't need to eat as often. You don't need to turn to alcohol or drugs. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying I don't need to do this. Now, when I was highly stressed, I noticed that my body craved something other than what I was doing because the environment stayed stressed. Since I couldn't hold my cup of peace, I began to watch in detail what my body was doing. It was reaching out because that's how the body and the brain, they try to find the thing that's going to make, oh, everything's okay again. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, all right. Even if it's for a split second. This is where addictions come from. And so when I was highly stressed, and I'm doing my best to cope, handle, and deal, help others, help other people self-regulate, and it's like, is that my job? Working with somebody, not customers, I'm talking about like friends or family or whatever the situation is, what do you need to do? But that energy that I'm out of sync with just got to me. It just literally got to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So as it started to really increase, I felt that I lost my cup of peace. I can't get the joy flows in, even though I was doing belly breathing, breathing through my heart and balancing my energies. I was like, okay, this is a major, major test. Because I'm still in my spirit space intellectualizing. But when you ego intellectualize, there's no hope, there's nothing you can do, and you believe the outside, and you put value in, even in your enemy, you put value in their words when you don't need to. You can learn to heal things with a grain of salt, and you can learn to listen to people with a grain of salt. But my body is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so it wanted to move. Walking is a very good thing. It helps to bring the balanced, healthier chemical peptides for your brain. And it's like, okay, all right. But because the environment, it was an ongoing situation, I have to learn how to get heart-brain coherence, get back into learning what is peace. Oh, he's talking to when he does this, he lets me know when other spirits are here in the room. He does this really strange thing with his head and his wings, and I'm surprised he's not talking to him. So as I'm enduring this spiritually, I'm noticing this, and it's like, whew. Then if I don't realize even further, I'll be easily influenced in getting into the same negative state. Or if somebody feels they need to constantly attack me, I will I can't handle it anymore, and I will not be my higher self, and I have to go into matching programs so I can speak the same language, and I lose myself. Ryan, the answer is yes. So what happens? I kept asking, and what I found out, like I said, was that all these energies are based on the fact that we had 3 days as we're moving out of that hell on earth energy, and how we know to live and to be, how to react and to be. We now into a new timeline, and I noticed that my spelling and my math, and it's just like, ooh, discombobulated a little bit. So these energies. She said, I'm looking as being interrupted nonstop and needing energy. That's needy. That's high maintenance. That's all hitting the body so it can unground someone when too much is happening at once. I'm looking as being interrupted nonstop and needing energy. That's all hitting the body so it can unground someone when too much is happening at once. So just so people understand what she said, I understood what she said. So you have this needy energy that's hitting the body. So if this is coming from the outside, it is expecting a certain result. And it will unground a person. Now, sometimes you need to not take and let that cross your boundary. And if it comes too far in, you've got to get frustrated to stand your ground. And you have to start matching certain type of communication styles so that you don't have to. Like when I've had people constantly do that to me, I've had to yell right back. I've had to become very terse. And I said, I'm not putting up with it. If you want to be in my space, it is going to be a big no. So I'm no longer agreeing. And when, hey, did you ever watch the, it was the second movie of Avatar where in order to live in a certain area, they had to match that style of talking, hierarchy, show that you're not afraid, all these things. Well, in that moment when people just won't stop, and it doesn't matter how nice you are, it doesn't matter how you're not responding, is they looking for that response. So I've had to match, or in this what's called a value hierarchy system, is that you have to override. You have to become lofty sometimes because the other does not have the behavior to stop. And it doesn't have a stop button until something hits that wall. And if it's attacking you, you're just going to say, nope, done. A lot of times you won't even give it oxygen. You just let it go. But if you feel that you're attacked, you've got to sometimes just stand up and say, no. Let's read a little bit further. So the best way for the body to release is frustration. We all do frustration, and if in a healthy way, not hurting others. Yes, it helps ground when you can't be outdoors or other methods. And there are many perspectives, so I'm never going to say no because it depends on which timeline, which world, which thing they're on. All I know is that sometimes when you when it builds up, you got to remove the chemical peptide dump. When this energy comes at you and you can't make it stop, and you don't know how to stand up or say no, but you have an awareness that you have frustration, then I would tell you that you got to remember that if your brain is firing wiring, if you can process the frustration out, so it's like taking a walk, like using healing tool, like any of that, then the content that goes with it is not going to program your brain and your body to make a program. In a style of when you're just in that old survival mindset, the ego mindset, frustration, as long as you don't want to hurt anybody, don't allow it to stay stored in the body. You have to change it. And even though the best way for this energy that comes in, like for instance, when I fell, the energy of falling hit, broke these two fingers, but the energy got stuck in these two fingers in my hand. And even these were healing. These ones I could barely move. I had to relearn how to use my hand again. Energy was stuck. So movement is definitely necessary. So if the frustration, you can get, especially if you can get your heart brain balanced. I'm looking at this from all these angles. That's why it's not that I'm not answering. I am answering as I'm looking at all of these different angles. So in one sense, frustration is the only way to release the buildup that is from that. Yes. But and I agree. But if you can process out even further why the frustration needed to be there in the first place, you're going to get it much farther along, because then that's why I was saying, I says, this seems to be a pattern. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to put this pattern is my strategy. It's like, no, I don't. And so I'm going to process out that I have to see and predict how I got to see this every time I do this. Instead of me going in ego going, every time I do my show. No, I don't need to put that in the universe. Thank you. Cancel, clear, delete. And I'm calling my energy back to me. You're being mindful of the actions of being. And she says, yes, I'm definitely learning that. Process it out. Don't just hold passive frustration and swallow. Thank you for the information. Okay, I did answer it correctly? Okay. Because I was always one to sit there and take it based on religious certain things that I learned. And so somebody would just sit there and throw it because they needed that support, or they just felt that I needed to be a dumping ground. And it's like, I'm not going to take it in and process it out. I don't even have to take it in. It comes, I can just start to, let it fall before me. I can still hold space, show up for them, but there are times when they feel that, they're trained that they can always be mean to you, and then they forget that you are who you are, and they make you so that, they forget who you are, and they treat you like an object, and they put you on a level that, so like if I was a teacher and the student come up to me and then saw them as equal as, well, you're not making me equal. You're doing this. You're doing that. You are not a friend. You're doing that. You go, hold on. See, they put me on the same position. I'm here as the teacher for you. Now, if we were just friends, that's a different story. But there is different roles that get to be played. But I'm not going to abuse my teaching, or as the teacher, I'm not going to abuse that relationship. Are you eating a plant? Should you be eating a plant? You're hurting the plant. Oh, you guys. But you can have a flash of burning up some of those chemical peptides, those frustrations, and there's nothing wrong with it. But be aware that spiritually you're going, why did I have to lose my power? Why couldn't I self-regulate? I am not self-regulating. So there means there's something in the back. Yeah, they're kids. So there must be something in my past that is coming through for that. So my inner world creates my outer world. So as I look at the outer world, it comes in, it goes through all my file system, and I have to come and do an internal representation that creates a behavior. But I can go into my file system and rewrite it and go, wait a minute. I didn't self-regulate. That means I'm doing this karma thing. I don't want to do that karma. I don't want to lose that power. So then why would I need to attract needy people in? So then you go further on your healing. Why would I need to do that? Or why do I have problems with high maintenance people? When I started to answer that question, for me, it had a lot to do with how, oh God, no, this phone is overheating. Goodness gracious. Okay, it's going to, If I lose you on TikTok, you can find me on YouTube or Facebook. Medicine Woman Soultion. Soultion. Because both TikToks are hot. The phone is. I don't remember what I was saying. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing the information back. But the frustrations, that's not your identity. That is an experience that you can choose. But the wisdom is hidden in the emotion. And you will keep repeating it on this Ferris wheel. And how many revolutions does it take until you're like, hold on, I don't want to do this anymore. So when I would lose power to it, it was like, what? And it ended up going back to, okay, I've healed the piece. And what she revealed was how a person started to communicate with me, and I would hear, or I would see through my sensory system. And what do? They would talk in a unique, fancy way called narcissism, or a unique, fancy way of manipulation, and be so proud of how they could, I manipulated and I won, bitch. You know, it was just like, and this is supposed to be a friend. This is supposed to be love. I mean, I questioned love, and that was a very good thing that I did, because when I would take and I would heal out the chemical peptides, my body kept saying that this is what love is. It really was not. It is not supposed to be love needs to hurt or love is messy. Those are the things that it's not. And when I started to take the energy off of how I believed in the knots, my life force came back to me, and I was able to take the wisdom, and it's like, I don't have to stay in an abusive relationship. I don't have to be the gopher for my friend. I don't have to be a nothing so they feel good. I don't have to. And I have done my best to say this is what Medicine Woman Soultion is. If you've never, I don't have the power symbol here, but it is an S with a W. It says Medicine Woman is the crown on top of the S, which is your spirit. Medicine Woman Soultion, your soul. And the theory is that if I climb the mountain, I'm going to reach back and pull you up. And then I'm going to trust that you put your hand down and you're going to pull me up. And recently, one person that was their turn to pull me up decided to let go, because they thought, and they compared, and they did competition, and it was because they were thinking I didn't give them love. I didn't give them the kudos they needed. And they were like, well, I got your tool, bitch. I know how to heal, so you don't have to do this. I'm like, this is the whole point. You're meant to heal yourself. I'm not creating customers. You're already there. I want you to be able to be self-empowered. And it's like, yeah, I know, you use me to get the tool. I would say that's probably more of something that's not good in a relationship, because you use love as a weapon to get it, and then be proud that you won. And then to burn the bridge, it's like, wait, do you need to do that? Yes, I love them, I hold space, but I'm not putting my hand back in the fire. They burnt me not once, but twice. I could see the writing on the wall, what was happening. And that's okay. Now, I'm still going to reach back, but I might reach for another hand. Or as I reach forward, I don't have to put all my cookies in one basket or all eggs in one basket. No, I'm going to look to the one that actually is not giving me false love. And I'll reach for that hand, because they're on that same intention field I am, which is about love and support. As we walk each other home and return to love. And so the very thing that I stand for, they were punching holes in, because it didn't work for them. And I get it. But at the same time, I don't have to lose power. I'm going to and respect. That's who they are. This is how they think. This is their perspective, and it's great. It's great for them. It's just like whatever I do is great for me. We came here to create individualism, but be able to connect with one another and walk each other home. It's okay. Oh, thank you. And when we support each other and show up for each other, it's not just that. It's about how you support and show up for each other. So do we need to do self-betrayal? Do we need to do any of those things? No. It's important we have our self-esteem, our self-efficacy. You know, and be done with self-deception. The self-deception is a sneaky little thing. But don't be ashamed because you're human. Apparently, Robyn had her phone. She's like, sneezed out of your life. I've done that. What? Ah. But you can get back. You can get back. You know, and because I didn't give the appropriate response that they thought they deserved, they, you know, it's like, you're not happy that I did your tool better. I want you to do better. I want you to take those tools. God damn it. Stop it. Take those tools. Go help yourself. Go help your family. Go help your friends. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. If I can see further, it's because of that. And if I can contribute to helping anyone to not have to be in hell, because that's not a happy place to be. I want you to get back into love. I want you to get back. Darn birds anyway. Okay, so it's really getting super hot and it's getting very muggy. I'm sorry about if the fans or the wind, because now the wind's picking up and make a lot of noise. Some of you, if you have not noticed, that certain winds will carry negative or positive ions, and if you have an issue with certain things in life, that can affect you. It'll be sometimes the unseen, but it doesn't have to mean that you have to be helpless or a victim too. Okay. All right. So I've got to find. I've got to find nothing. I've got everything here. We have Ayme that's paid for 3 piffs, and she's coming on the show. We have. Before I open my mouth, let me just go to the next one. We're finally getting some of our summer, and it's getting closer to the end, I swear. But whew. And everything's just gonna, all my emails are coming in. It'll be noisy. Oh, now I have to wait. Okay. Guess I'm waiting. No, it's good. Any parts that you're listening to, let's say thank you, Spirit, for helping me process it. That's good. I'm looking for the payment. I have to wait for my emails to all pop in. Right now I see, yes, yours is there. That popped in. Excellent. So now I see Ayme. I see April's. And we still have, did I do TP? Did I get TPs done? I can't even remember. So moderator that usually are in charge of tell me, because I think I got 2 piffs from last time. And you got a chat for you. Okay, so whatever Spirit wants, gotcha. Okay, so like I said, there's a video. That's Ayme. Now that's your chance to come on and come on one of my shows. If you don't want video, you can have audio. We have, like I said, the piffs. I believe there was 2 from last time and 3 this time. So that means we have 5 piffs ready to go. So if you want a piff, just say it and I will put your name down. But if we have more, if we got more than 5, we'll do the duck race. But that depends if we have it. So now we're going to put on the chat, we have TP. If she does it, we still got to give hers. And then we have April Lynn's, which she is paid for today. So again, her name goes into a drawing. That helps. Oops. And here we go. Nicki, she wants to chat too. And it looks like probably just the... So we have in that order. So if we happen to see TP, let me know. If not, we will save it for her. A piff is a pay it forward. So people have paid money out of their pocket, a gift to whoever wants it. So, so Jennifer, I'll put your name down. And then, Kelly, Kelly, you've never had a reading before, and I'm glad to see you back, so you get a free reading. Is that correct? I don't think I gave you a reading. So I can start off with just quickly, because Kelly was here, I did not see her, I didn't see until after the show, so that was, I'm sorry that I didn't see that. And so Kelly, I'm going to put her down, and is usually I just let Spirit choose, but if there's something, that topic that you would like, let me know. I'll put Angela Stokes down. So we have 2 people. So again, like I said, there's 5. I'm looking around to see if there's any other live chat window. I don't know why that doesn't stay up. I'll keep an eye on it, and my moderators will let me know. Okay, so before we get to April Lynn's, I'm just going to give Kelly, because I promised her that I would. And, oh. What's happening? Okay. They behaving themselves? I was going to use the board today, but they're sitting right where the curtain would fall, and I just didn't want to have to try to handle one more thing. Okay, as I'm looking at Kelly Dix with this. Okay. It's weird. As I'm looking at my board, all I can hear is unexpected, unexpected. I don't have that on my thing. Okay, I'll give you a reading too. Unexpected blame, and rejection. So are they telling me that you've had this unexpected thing happen to you with a family or a friend or somebody that they blame you and they rejected you? Because that's where Spirit seems to be going. And what I'm looking at, there is this avoid, this automatic avoid, like I would create and be gun shy of wanting to communicate and do things, but there's this really a need to avoid. So I want you to feel it. You're just like, oh, it's like if you're in a store, you're like, no, I'm going to walk the other way. So Kelly, you with me? This is for you. What I said so far, does it make sense? But they're saying that this seems to be a habit that you saw around 6 years old, that like if you're in stores, you're supposed to avoid people because you don't want to be rejected. So I don't know if this directly happened to you because they're going back to being 5, but they said around 2 years old, there was something in the family that you witnessed. Okay, yes, that's me for sure. So she's got a pattern, okay? But you witnessed this, and one of the things that you witnessed that I could see, that there was a certain amount of nerve compensation. Okay, that means your nerves had to compensate to exist. So every time that signature of a person would come near or in sight, your body would start, and then you would look, and then you would go, oh, and so you are definitely in a program. Now they bring this up because it's called an arrested development. So whatever you saw transpire, there was energy, like rejection was thrown. At the same time, when you think of rejection, you think about how the energy has been taken. But I feel in this case, energy was thrown is like, I reject you. And I don't know, I think you were around your mother or father and you felt that energy of rejection before you even were rejected. Because I asked if that rejection was at you, and they go, no, it was aimed at somebody else, and you just happened to be in the middle. And I said, well, what do you want her to do? They want her... Okay, so your first level of need, of safety, kind of comes into play where I don't feel safe. So what you can do is 2 things, okay? Because you know it is about the fact that you don't feel safe, you can kind of go, how do I know I don't feel safe? And We kind of already said it had to do with feeling the energy of being rejected. My parents fighting, and with the cheat. Oh, mother rejection. Okay, there you go. Now you know. See, she knows her words. Your words are always going to be best, not mine. I'm not living your world. I can only give you guidance. You're going to take your right wrist, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and it's not. I want you to place your thumb in the third position. So the fingers are just for alignment. Put your thumb there, nice and soft. Don't push in, so nice and soft. Finger in the palm, create the letter C. Now the heel of the palm, remember, put your thumb back, nice and soft, is you place it here and your forehead and let your fingers drop. Now you're going to sit there and you're going to feel the energies, see the eyes, hear the voices, and experience it as that little, okay? And what you're going to do from there then is, once you feel that you've measured it to be a 10, oh God, yes, then you're just going to sit there for 10, 15 minutes, and you may rock, you may let your body do things, because you're pulling and helping the blood to go back up, because the body says, I'm supposed to stay in stress, or I'm supposed to be around this, or this is always, just sit with it. And if you happen to be out and you can feel it again, and you're like, oh, it's connected to that, then you go in. Now you stay here until it's 0. And when you see it again, you measure it, and then you stay there until it's 0. You keep doing this. Now the other thing I'm going to tell you is I want you to begin to notice that your body will begin, and you're like, oh, but you haven't ran there yet in your mind. You haven't thought it so through with worst case scenarios. You haven't jumped track and just lost it. I want you to have your hairline, okay? I want you to hit both sides of the brain, and you're going to tap. You're going to create a tsunami in the brain, which then you're going to imagine that it's going down. You can even do this, going down the spine. Okay, go as far as back you can. But do this both sides of the brain, but then after you breathe in, you let it out, come to your thymus. Don't be wearing jewelry. Come to your thymus. Do a couple rounds of breathing. Imagine it tapping down your spine. Because your body that needs you. If you were here, I'd muscle test you, and I would show you where the alert or the alarm button would go off, and you would lose power, and then by doing the focus and that, the alarm button shuts off. Okay? All right. But change how you know it. Look at how you know it. Don't intellectually let it. It's just, but I don't need to have to memorize this and go mentally crazy or, no, you don't have to. Now, I think somebody over here wanted to read, and I'll give you extra minutes for those that paid. Expedite usually means jump the queue, but I know Ryan was here. Was there another person that was here, moderator, I'm going to trust you, that had asked about a reading, but they had to wait until after Spirit speaks? Because Ryan, I don't think, hi Sherry. Ryan, I don't know if I've read you before, and if I haven't, I can do that right now. Because I know you have been, because if you patiently wait and you're hanging around, then I can. And wait for the delay and see what happens. Would you like one? Because is it I feel like you have something on your mind, like, this seems to always happen to me. It's like I want to disrupt this pattern. That's what I feel from you. But if it is true, let me know. Kelly says, holy crap, give me anxiety, but I totally get what you're saying. I will allow your instructions. Thank you. You already have anxiety. Your nervous system has always got this, but you mentally are trying, so you're just staying above. And so then you go into situations and you then get your alarm system even higher. But if you can start even just working on it, going, oh, this shit, yeah, man, without having to engage, you'll start to break down why you would have to see things always, this attraction factor. You don't want to bring it anymore. You don't want to keep carrying the past. So use the tools. It will help you. I'm looking to see if I can connect with someone. You on the other side, right? Okay, so if you hold that person in mind, I don't do it like a lot of people, so just let you know. Right now, there's 4 people on the other side that's here. They said there is this deficiency that your body is carrying that in a habit field, and you sometimes can't hear the one that you're seeking. I said, could you give me more? And they go, yeah, because there's this anger, this lofty energy, this presence about yourself is as if you're saying, I should be able to hear them, but I don't. It's I hear some denigration going on in your head. And then there's a great deal of sadness. I don't know if sadness is the word I'm looking, maybe a sorrow or just an anguish, a mental anguish. But anyways, what I see. Okay, so first of all, did their soul crossover? Yes. Have they been trying to do their best to communicate with you? Yes. But every time they get near you, every time they get near you, there is this frustration that you go into, which then they back away. It's not as bad as it seems. No, there was no pain, man. There was no pain. I don't know who that is. It feels more of a male coming through, but there was no pain. There was no pain. I don't know who that is. So it's like you imagine the worst, and it's not what you think. It's not what you felt. It's not what you're imagining. It's not as bad as it's different. Did you happen to witness someone dying? I don't know if you... who's the question for? You or him? Oh, yes, you did. Okay, so, okay, because what he said was yes, too. Translating. Okay. Again, your imagination has made it worse than what it is. What I'm hearing from them is that we humanize things so much that it's not what you think. Did you, okay. What is, I was going to say, what is Blades, but that's your last name. Do you blame yourself? Is that what he's trying to tell me? Because he's showing me Blades and he said something about blaming self. Are you blaming? Or do you feel he's blaming? The word is super dang strong, as if to say fear. Yes. No, man, no. Okay, so was it a man? Can I just... Okay, I feel like I need to talk as if I'm a man. Okay. No, man, no, no. Once you understand the soul, you'll get it, dude. It's like, listen. On a human level, you can't live there. On a soul level, it was the way it was supposed to be. It was the way it was supposed to be. We both raised our hands to do it in this way. It was in the contract. So as a human, you got to learn to forgive yourself. As a human, you got to grow from this. There's something that you're replaying over and over. He's making it flash so fast in front of me. He says he's deleting, distorting the whole thing. So hidden information was not there. So he's only cherry picking and hurting himself over and over. Is that what you're doing? Okay. Yes, he's pointing to me to give you a point to heal. Do you? Okay, but he's got to say yes. Would you like to be able to measure this pain? And would you like to be able to help heal yourself so that the pain can subside? Because the pain stops us from hearing and healing. And he wants so much to mess with you. It's like, hey, dude, I'm going to come back and haunt you someday type thing. He wants to blow out your candle. And I asked, do you mean in a good way? And he goes, yeah. Like if he blew out the candle, I want to freak the shit out of him. Does this sound like him? Does it sound like anything here? There's something to do. Were you really close? He considered you friend. He says that's the other reason that you don't know enough about the other side, so it's very scary. It's not. If you are in fear, it will be. If you listen to people that do all those other things, it will be. Yes, he has always said he would haunt. He would, but he's joking. He's like, it's not what you. Okay, he says, oh, shh. Okay, so go get the book by. I should get some money off this. Just kidding. The Afterlife of Billy Fingers. Okay, just go get that book. He says, dude, there's so much truth in that. There's so much truth in that. He says, because it's not the death, the other side, it's not what we think. This is hell on earth, right? But it could be heaven. He says, you have, okay, how fresh was this? How fresh was this? Because the reason I ask is because he says, it's like it just happened. It just happened. It just happened. Does that make sense? But it's like he can't get, it's like a PTSD in his mind. Okay. November last year. Okay, so it takes about a normal of 2 years, even if you did no healing tool, to get to the point where it feels like time did the healing. It's like we normalize it and we're able to move. But there's so much more you can do. First of all, he wants you to get a little educated, so he wants you to read that book. Number 2, he says, don't be afraid of me. Roberta Grimes is a good one to, if you can get past the religion aspect. Roberta Grimes talks about death, the fun of dying, and all of these things, because it's not what we think it is. He says, you got to get, there's so much I could do for you. Let me tell you why. And the reason I say this is because, 1, we have to get it out of your sensory system. 2, we need to start getting it out of your meridians. The sensory system is that you have pictures. Is it words or just pictures? And the physical sensation that causes you to really feel. Because I said, is it more than guilt and shame? Yes. So he keeps rehashing it and it keeps being the pain. Yes. Okay. So to answer this person, yes, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms. I'm looking right now at one. Making sure my birds don't move. I can't, okay. He doesn't understand how this works. He just thinks I should spend all day to heal you. I'm going to tell you that when I want you to come back, when you're ready, okay? But I'm going to give you something before you go. Is that when you feel safe enough, which is what you got to establish first before you can heal the pain. Because you can't get the discernment you're looking for. They're telling me the very first thing you can kind of start to need to do is go left wrist, second position. Okay, so you're lining 2 fingers up. That makes the position. The second position is where you put the thumb. You're going to hold it soft. Don't push in deep. Put the finger in the palm. Create the letter C. Safety, security, stability. Use the palm on your forehead and drop your fingers. And then I want you to sit in whatever comes up with the relationship with this person. Measure it. Does it hurt? Is it anger? I don't feel safe talking. I don't feel safe without him here. I can't go live my life. Whatever you decide what safe is. He says, I need you to breathe, bro. But you stay there 10, 15 minutes and then go back and measure. And if it's come down from a 10 to an 8, you're healing. You're doing it. I'm not doing nothing. You're healing. And he would love to be able to flash memories at you to make you giggle. He would love to say, hey, look, dude, there goes a... I'm not saying that. Like, let's say you see an animal and it ends up being derogatory or something because it reminds him of something, and then you giggle because it's like his humor. You're going to, but he doesn't need to cry over it. It's the joy. So when you start to feel that you're safe and you heal the pain of loss, then you'll be able to embrace the fact is you haven't really lost them. Okay, but you're in the transitioning of finally saying, I can do this, I can do this. Now, I'm going to give you one more thing. When you cover up your right eye, and you see the whole situation, I want you to look and tell me what number that is. And you're like, oh my God, it's a 10. Now I want you to remove, transcend, let go. This is a simple process. Then you go over and you look through only this side, the same story, check the number, and then you say remove, transcend, let go. And you keep doing this process as you check in to see the number. You're going to start pulling out the fixed horror state. Because that's what you did. You tapped eliminating and okay. It's time to get past that. It's up to you. All right. So now I've got to go on to the next reading. This is a paid expedite reading, and so thank you for the money. So here we go. The first one is Miss April. Miss April. And if we all want to send him love, put a number 4, type of 4, send him love. 4, send it 4. Send some love. And that, so we can come in agreement to send love together. And somebody said, did you receive the money? I'm going to go over because I don't see the money. Let me look. I see it has not come through. So did you hit send? I don't see that. Oh, you got a lot of 4s even on these other screens. So Miss April Lynn. Okay, so immediately I'm feeling this, interestingly enough, okay, I don't know how to explain it. Down by my, you're welcome, down by my, I'd say bottom of like T11, 12 in my lumbar area on my right side. So what I'm feeling is a physical thing. So they're pointing out like a really strong physical sensation. Now, you have your tribal healer stuff, yes? They said if you were to go, and for instance, right now, are you connecting with any physical pain in their body? Because they're trying to say this is specific, not necessarily meaning it's in that area, but it is very specific. Okay? And once she tells me, then I can help her understand something. Because what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing in the body is that it feels like this is karma. This means it's what you're sowing and reaping. And I said, in this case, it's a mental process. The mental process about how your identity is that you have to be demoralized, disconnect, in order to feel safe. There's this pattern of when you were younger. Now, this sits inside the body, and I said, where are you holding it the most? They said, my gallbladder. Any particular emotion? They said, it's just the subtlety of, I just can't tolerate it. So you're not able to self-regulate on a physical level. Mental, you talk to yourself, or you alert yourself. Is this making any sense? So what you'll do is you'll use intention and saying gallbladder, and I can't discern this. Or you're looking and seeking discernment on it. But either way, you're feeling it. So you're focusing on the intention. And then I want you to just start. Make sure you tap on both sides of the brain. Breathe in. Go all the way down to the back as far as you can. Breathe out. Lift. You don't have to lift your jaw. You probably won't have any. Breathe in and out around. Go back to doing this. And then go back. You got to do this several rounds. I have that tightness in my trap that comes in and out. Chiropractor says my gallbladder is not supported. Aha! Okay. Begin to do that, okay? The second part that I would highly recommend is this. Your body has memorized before you are aware, mentally or emotionally. Oh, it says age restriction. I have another thing that says it's supposed to be bad. And then it said I have a violation. So it tells me to do better. So somebody is on this one as well. That's interesting. So before I submit this, your body is just, okay, so this is a correlation. It says TikTok should allow content like mine. And for you, people should allow your energy. So does certain places don't feel like it allows and support you, the way you believe in you. Okay. So somebody on the here is trying to think it's funny. They want their reality to be superimposed, which means to destroy somebody else. And they want to laugh about it. The gall, like in gallbladder, you're galled by the whole thing. You're galled. Now, when your gallbladder is galled, that means that your heart is crushed. Yes, absolutely. I feel others' energy. I am too much. Okay. So we got to get the body to start supporting the new you, the new part of you. Okay. What does that mean? It means that you have still believe that you don't hold the energy or the value, or you don't hold something specific enough that you actually feel empty when you're around these people. So it's the key word emptiness, that disconnect, that do you understand? I want you to get very specific on this frame of this frame. Okay, why? Because they are using their energy to change your behavior. They don't want that, because all they can do is be in their own hell. They don't realize that they're bleeding on everybody else. They want to control that so that they can have a happy space, even if they're in misery. And you're like, but I have a right to exist. But it's the emptiness that you felt a long time ago. And all I can tell you is this is where your heart cannot have heart-brain coherence, which then would send out the heart-brain coherent poof bubble, so that people that are in that space can begin to feel you. And they would have to start to, so they have the right to push that in your own. Well, you have the right to exist too. So your bubble is just as important. But your heart-brain coherence is that I'm crushed, I'm galled, I'm crushed. So I would start with L1D as well, L3D, because you are so used to being that object, okay? And then R3D, because there's just this emptiness. But that one is really important because it's like one of the big key connectors to these other things. So on point, yes. Okay, wonderful. Okay. All right, so you're retraining your body, but you're also retraining your heart. All right. Go heal, honey. You're worth it. Okay, so as I look, we got money from Elizabeth. That did come through. What is your question? We'll do that small one. I'll jump over to Nicki next. And then, Nastasi. She's willing to come on, I think. Yeah. Ooh. Ouch. Okay. My name is Cristelle. Okay. All right. So for a real mini, and you've paid, I'm going to big word that comes in and says the word shit. I said, what? There's a certain amount of pride. Okay, so you carry yourself the way you carry yourself. Do you have somebody in your space that like goes out of their way to make you feel like shit? Or do you need to go out of your way to make others feel like shit? The reason I ask that is because this is so strong from all energies. It's like you have to match other people, you to survive. It's like all over the place. Does that make sense? And what they're telling me is that you are becoming aware that you are just diminishing your self-worth and diminishing yourself, and you don't want to. Right now, you want this answer. So their question is, I want to start a relationship with this person. Would they love and take care of me? Yes, that's who I'm looking at. Is Cristelle, established answered prayers. Established. I'm looking at Cristelle, yes. The reason why is because if this pattern sounds familiar, what you know is what's going to be in the relationship. What you don't resolve is going to be brought to the relationship. What's going to happen? So when you say, will he has the potential, yes, but will you be able to receive it? Because if you are so used to living in a particular way of being, such as what I explained, then you're going to have a certain amount of that every day in a relationship with any man that you bring in, because it's part of the makeup of your mentality, the emotions, the way that you do things. Does this make sense? I'm telling you, if you have an opportunity, and right now you have to decide, do you want to feel this way? Do you want to have to always have the same story come up that it feels like shit? Who am I, please? I'm a little lost. Cristelle Bell, or Cristelle, I can't pronounce it, and then Kalubi. Is that what you're asking me? So you didn't hear any of your reading, which I was trying to fit you in between, and you're lost. You're asking a question which I gave an answer to, which you say that, will he take care of me? The answer is yes, but you're not willing to see how you have relationships with people in the past that you can bring into this relationship. I want you to, yes, I have been hurt so many times. That is what you're bringing into the relationship. Your pain, your baggage, your emotional baggage, all of it that is not resolved will be brought into the relationship. And I don't care how sweet of a guy he is, you are going to be processing all of that shit out with him. And that word, S-H-I-T, is what was used to explain how you felt in certain relationships. I'm saying if you don't want to bring that into this relationship, which has the potential, then you need to heal out that baggage stuff. I'm ready to let go of that now. Excellent. Then I want you to start pulling it out of your heart. You do not need it there. So left wrist, first position. Take your thumb, push it in deep. Finger in palm. Okay? Create the letter C. Safety, security, stability. And put your hand here. This is how this works. And you're going to start noticing. Measure every time you felt like shit. Every time when you felt good, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into that position. And then you're supposed to diminish yourself. Every one. Measure them individually if necessary. But just focus on it and let it. You got to get it out of your body. You got to get it out of your attraction factor. You got to get it out. You don't need it there. Okay? Go heal. You are worth it. But you won't know unless, because that other stuff gets in the way. Elizabeth Knight has paid, and I will give you something after I take care of the people that are in queue. So the next person in queue is Nicole. She said Spirit choose, and since she's paid for a chat, friend, the word friend is coming out, and then it's like guilt. So do you notice any guilt with certain friends? Might have been that thing that you shared with me. Because This is a mirror of the things that you've been working on with your family. This is another mirror that's through this avenue. And when that comes into play, they said that you would look at how you did right and wrong growing up. So you became self-conscientious. Okay? Right and wrong, right and wrong. That it caused you to be self-conscious, which is to feel like you're going to get read, or you're going to get accused, or you're going to get that normalcy process of manipulation. And there's a part of you that goes, I don't even want it. So I don't want to answer. Or I give an answer, but they're not going to take no for it. Are you with me? What I'm watching is your heart is saying, it's going back to when around 9 years old, when you felt very vulnerable, when everything was great, and all of a sudden you felt like this is the right thing to do, da 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 da. I feel like you're in a party. I don't know what kind of party. I'm assuming someone's birthday party. I'm not sure. But all of a sudden it was like, it's shocking. Just some type of, you felt very vulnerable about how people were acting. Everything was great, and I feel like it came out like a nowhere. And then what you noticed the most was the energy that created all of this fear, all of this okay, when the energy was there, the first thing you saw was somebody trying to be force somebody to behave differently, and the energy was so lofty that they couldn't say no. Now you're holding your ground. They said you're beginning to wake up that if this person is willing to say this and do this, and then in the form of love, then just imagine what it's like when if you were married to this person. If they're showing their hand, guarantee that courting is going to turn to who they really are, which may not be pretty. So I feel like you got in a little doubt, and now I feel like you're like, no, I know who I am now. But if there's a body that's doing that addiction to this certain type of behavior, the signature. So if you can, like, there's going to be two things you're going to have to do. And I asked why separate, and they said because repulsion compatibility, you're going to put on the piece of paper, you're going to put on there distrust, because you have a magnetic that should be coming together. And even if you started coming close to this person, there will be this separate, you will always carry this separate energy with you, and it'll always be in question. So the first thing you want to do is put trust behind the belly button or your thymus, and then do the 4 breathings and tap those out. Second, we want to get to the body, and the body says, okay, I'm supposed to abuse myself to please others. And if you can know that that's the intention, then you can go, remember to tap on both sides of the brain, go to the breathe in, go all the way down the back as far as you can go, come back up, go back down. You can do 2 rounds of that, or however you choose to do it. Do the thymus, breathing in and out. And then after you've done a couple rounds of that, your body won't influence you as much, and your magnetic issues will start to come balanced, and you will then begin to notice that there'll be some type of memory that needs to come forward, and it'll start to feel like they'll hold resentment in relationship. It's sluggish memory, but it's like they will hold this relationship because you dissed them. And they have a right to be angry because you dissed them. It's like, oh, you dissed me, now I'm going to make you pay. And I said, what do you want her to do? L2S. Because you, on a spirit intuition level, is like, I can't put my finger on it, And it's a split second, but I know I'm not supposed to trust this. But even though there's a talking and the environment keeps doing, I'm supposed, no, okay? No, you don't have to. And so your intuition is getting stronger and you are like, I don't want to be controlled by this. Where were you going when you told me this? It's about, that's connected to the distrust thing. So get in there, do some healing. And I think I was going to tell you L2S if I haven't. Why L? Again, being in this new timeline, they're working out the details, working out the little glitches, things they have. Okay, so now moving on to the next person. Let me get this out of the way, and then we have, yes, I'm not talking to that person. Okay, and you can feel the dissing and the resentment. Yep, okay. You can even predict it because, again, he is just an example of what you experienced. I really feel like if this 9-year-old, I don't know if it's a birthday party for somebody or some cultural fiesta thing. I don't know what it is. I don't have a clue. But you totally knew the energy. Okay, go heal. You're worth it. And it's good when you can measure and you know it. You're like, yeah. Now getting over to Elizabeth Knight. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can. No, that is not it. Where's Elizabeth? I don't even know if I see. No, I can't. All right, maybe it was way at the top. All I see is established. Let's go past that one. Elizabeth, just sending payment now. Did you? All right, you'll have to write it again. Yeah, or I will. Did you have questions? Because this is, what's the second question? What's the first question? Or do you just want Spirit to tell you how it's all connected to your issue that you're going through right now? And then tools to take and heal that out. Because if it going back farther, I can't find your question. It didn't even come through or something. I don't know. I like to ask about career, but anything general would be great. Okay. So, number one, do you have an idea of what you didn't ask it yet? Oh, gotcha. Do you have an idea of what you're interested in as far as a career goes? And I will tell you that this part of your future has a lot to do with the purpose. The purpose is connected to what's important to you, what's connected to your heart of passion. Meaning, oh my God, I could live and breathe and walk and talk and dream it every single day. That would be what you'd want to aim for, the career, the vocation, and moving forward. If you have somebody in your ear telling you that no, to make money and the best career isn't the one you want, it's the one we think you want, then I'm going to tell you you're not going to be happy and you're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to go through. So, somewhat, but have a lot of fear. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. Going through a lot of health-wise and have been unemployed. Okay. All right, so you're not going to be able to think as clearly as you want. So as far as getting to the career, they said there's a lot of panic that is other people's, that you've experienced, other people's, and that you've actually believed that you have to be in panic and take what you can get. Now, as far as developing who you are, you've got to get past this fear, because this fear is trying to self-regulate you and keep you stay in one spot. So I feel like you've been very stagnant in this one spot for a long time. And they said that there's a part of, I'm fear of being bold. My insecurities are getting the frickin' best of me. I want you to take your right wrist, find the third position. You're going to place your thumb down here, and you're going to do it nice and deep. And then you're going to put your finger in the top, and you're going to create that letter C, safety, security, stability. And you're going to put this here and drop it. Heel to the forehead, fingers drop. Sit there, but I need you to measure your insecurities. I'm afraid to be bold. You recognize the word is fear. I want you to measure it, 10 plus, whatever. Sit there and sit there and sit there until all of a sudden you go back to measuring and you go, it's not a 10, it's like an 8. Good job, you're healing yourself. Keep going. Now, there's going to be a hurdle for you because you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, if I heal this, that means I got to do it. No, that's another lie, that fear, because that's your God, fear is your God. We want you to not have God as to be fear. You want spirit to be that love as your guide. So, oh my God, if I heal this, oh my God, this is more of a phobia. You're going to need to come over to your left wrist, third position, deep. So it's R, 3D, L, 3D, same thing. And I want you to heal the fear that if I heal this, then I have to go out there. These fears are lying to you. Measure it. Stay there, stay there, stay there. And if you have to go back every now and then to either side, get them down to 0, because if you keep it and you're like, oh, I can handle it. No, it'll just grow again. And then you're stuck repeating this life lesson. Get it to 0. Look for the next layer. If it looks similar, or you got a pattern that you got to panic, go back to doing it again. Keep doing it until all of a sudden you're like, I don't have to believe my own bullshit. I don't need to believe my own BS. Belief systems. Okay? Alrighty. Now, where are we at? Okay, so that does that help you, Elizabeth? You're here to heal out a life issue. But if you're a little upset and you can't do something, you're going to have, it'll interfere with your progress, your motivation, your ability to. And I'm going to give you one more thing, Elizabeth, if you answer. Then I'll give you one more thing before I move on to my, makes sense, it does. Okay, you ready? I want you to kind of measure how you feel right now. Now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come underneath. It's not straight down, it's off to the side. And you can look it up. It is spleen 21 and an acupuncture point. And then I need you to rub those because those need to be activated in order to you start feeling better. The next thing you're going to do is, because there's a part of you that's frozen in this, I want you to go to the left hand, go to the back, right smack dab in the middle, okay, where the bend is. Take your hand, palm, flip it over, back of hand, that's 2, palm, that's 3, back of the hand 4. You're going to do that 24 times, 12 on each side. Then you're going to push in and you're going to deeply penetrate and rub. Then you're going to do the right side, same thing. And this is going to unlock so you don't have to keep repeating on such a deep level. You can re-listen to these by going over to Facebook and their timestamps, or you can go over to YouTube and just scroll until you think you know what part of the story you're in. But go heal. You will feel a difference in your brain. Okay? Thank you very much. Yes, I was going to say I felt paralyzed. Yes, because the willpower locked into your bladder system is not going to allow you to move. But your triple warmer is the army, and it will totally just control whether you take a breath because you're stressed. We need to get you out of that state. The person that is paid to do a live, I need Miss April Thor. I need to go and see if she's ready. Well, we have some duck. I mean, right now we got, I seen somebody say TP. Don't know whether she's here or not, but we do have some people. If you hang around, we do have some pips. Right now, I've only got Jen Osika. I don't know if she's still here. And Angela Stokes. You are welcome. Go heal yourself. Go here, heal yourself. So I have a feeling that if we don't get any more people, I will give those to them. So just let me know. Oh, after we get done with, Autumn. Okay, good. Hi, darling. So, okay, Jennifer's there and there. Okay, good. Okay, so this is going to be anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. And after that, if there's no more paid expedites, then we'll start doing... No, you're not too late, Joy. You go right ahead, whatever you want. And Sarah V, I'll put your name down. Okay, so that means you're collecting it. Let's... Oh, I don't know if it worked. Thor? Did you see the link? Not. Yep, she did. Okay. Ooh, I gotta read what she wrote. Hold on. Okay. So you didn't want to come on. Did you want me to? I don't know, because now that I'm reading your thing, did you just want me to address all those? I'm not sure what you're asking now, because I looked at the price and I assumed that was video. But you're paying, it's your choice. See if I can find her. Again, you don't have to come on because the situation that you're in, don't feel like you're forced. I can answer these. You paid. Okay, don't feel like you are, okay. Shoot. Again, I don't know if she can hear me. If you don't want to do video, you don't have to. You don't even have to do audio. So if you feel uncomfortable with being on live, then I can totally kick you out and we can do the healing. You okay? Can you hear me okay? Oh, it must be on my end. Hold on. No, it should work. It's not working. Okay. I'm hearing absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Yeah. Yeah, try that again if you don't mind. Again, here's the thing, honey. I didn't know if you wanted video or if you just wanted me to answer in chat. That's up to you, because of all the stuff that you wrote me and that I got a chance to read. I don't want to put you on the spot. So you decide. You're going to come back in? Okay, all right. We'll try it again. Let's see if we can get the volume. Okay. It's getting a little warm. It's not bad. It's like feeling steady. It's in the 90s. You got 222 there. Not too bad. My birds are being good. Oh, wonderful, Love Always. That's who you are over there. Wonderful. Glad to see you. But, well, yeah, it's not, I don't know. Whoops. I don't know if it's the best quality, but it's, I can't figure out how to turn it around. That's all right. I don't think they give you that option. Whew. No. Okay, I'm going to double check again for me and just see why. Oh, this is it. I found it. It's my end. Try it now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I've got like 2 spots that is just very specific for speakers. Okay. Usually I don't have to fix that one, but it must have reset it. Thank you for waiting. Hello. Okay, so I can just go ahead and start addressing because you typed all that in. Or you can talk, whatever you choose. You just have to let me know.
It didn't matter. I had the tooth. They had to pull the crown out, go in there and dig it out and put a bone graft in, and so I got pain for that, and I can't take any pain pills, so if you just give me points for that.
Gotcha.
Brandy worked a little bit, but not very long. I swished with it. So.
Yeah, get some absinthe. That'll knock you out. Jesus.
Yeah.
Somebody says, oh, you want to taste some licorice? I said, sure. No, it's absinthe. That's that black absinthe. Yeah.
Oh, absinthe. Oh, that'll knock you on your butt.
Right. I'm like,
What's
I
better
touched
than
that.
that is sambuca, is like black licorice, and it's sweet.
Yeah, they were
Better.
they were playing a joke on me, but yeah, I was out of
Yeah.
there. Okay, so to help you, what do we want to do? Ooh. Okay, first thing is that you're drawing in energy, people to invade your space that are very lofty. So it's like you want controversy. This is really
I know.
interesting. Hold on, this is connected to the two somehow.
It's not
Because
bigger anymore.
yeah. Yeah. So that energy field that you share with other people is that it says I expect that I know I can't trust you and that you're going to do harm me. So it is that you can't help but to see an enemy. How do I? Yeah, that's what I see. But somehow that's connected to the tooth. You know you're confident, but you memorized yourself that you always have to be in conflict with the drama to challenge your confidence, because when you were confident, you were about 24 and you were really confident and you got bitch slapped next Tuesday, which caused you to be in a drama in your strategy. It's like, I can't be confident now. They smacked me down, they hurt me. I'm going to keep getting up and fighting. But I'm watching you like have a PTSD of that. It's just, there's something going around and around and around in that.
Oh, that was that have to do with when my husband watched me get in a fight with people?
That's what I'm wondering, because it's like he shunned you, or he.
He watched them do it and didn't help.
Yes, that part pissed you off. That part pissed you off. Okay,
Well,
that makes
ended
sense.
my marriage, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So that hurt. That energy hurt terribly. Oh my goodness. Okay.
We worked on that before, I think.
Okay. So this is a different layer because I'm watching how my one show disconnected. And it is parts of you, and it's not all of you from what I can understand. Oh, well, my live was suspended. They said that I'd done something. Whatever. Very interesting. Okay. So they're accusing you of doing something you didn't do. Now, and you got a restriction.
What is?
Huh?
I was just curious what your bird was doing back there. He had his mouth on the
Metal thing?
He took it off, but he had his mouth on there, and he was just holding it.
Statue boy. Okay, so they're saying that I can get my rights back on February 23rd. So while I was doing, okay, so somebody accused me of something that wasn't correct. So if I said the word like SHIT and it goes against community standards, or somebody took offense, so they went and cried to the big dog. So we have to look at this real quick. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Well,
somebody took offense somewhere.
I know something recently.
Right, any of them, all of them. This is the pattern.
Okay.
This is the pattern. This is why the tooth. Yeah. This is like, you're supposed to grin and bear it. You're supposed to put up with it. I have no rights. It's like, okay, so it's my reaction, it's their reaction, it's that energy field that you have, the scalar energy field. So tell me more about it. This is where you feel like you need to hold a grudge, or somebody has to hold a grudge against you. So if somebody didn't like what I was saying, or somebody doesn't like me, they can come into any of my platforms and get even with me.
I don't know if that's happening, but
no, in the past,
I can see, especially with the program that just ended.
Okay,
yeah.
So notice that maybe there was a threat that said, if you do anything to me, I will take you down. Like there's a great threat if you don't comply to their rules. Again,
I don't know.
again, this is all related back to how you were not, it's like you got so upset and you said, I'm not taking it from these people. You attacked back, and then you lost a husband, that it looked like that other girl won. There's just so much chaos. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, there's unfinished business there. So,
Okay.
if I look and I said, and I assume that so-and-so did that, okay, now I'm going to be putting energy into that, but I'm also going to be putting energy that's not love into that. So there's a part that says, I can't behave the way I want, and it's your fault type thing. This is what I'm getting from this tooth, okay? It's a grudge, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now you've gotten over time, usually 2 years, you get used to it, yeah, whatever. But the body, and I'm looking at the body.
Remember.
So, right.
Yeah.
So during conception, there was a lot of emotionally repressed emotions your parents were going through, from what I can feel. And there was always this policing one would do over the other. You can't do that in public. You shouldn't say. You know what I'm talking about, okay? This is part of the theme of what's going on today. So I says, what can we do now that can help April to not live out that? And they said, this is where now we can go to SP, because we're going to connect to the tooth, okay? And they're saying that you now have this idea, and that means we're going to do both sides. We're going to go to the liver. We're going to use the magnet. Let me get my foot. Okay.
Okay.
Left side first,
Got it.
and then use your magnet, and then deeply rub, and then go over to the right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you done both? Oh, she's doing it. I'm going to say that's, yeah.
At one,
Very good.
I just had to pick up my shoes.
Okay, so I went a little bit further. Why they suspended me was because they said I was harassment and bullying. So if somebody
you're so mean.
Oh, I know. So if somebody was only going to pick up details and they heard me say, like the word SHIT and all these other things, but they didn't hear the content before and they assume, so people will cherry pick. I think that's what we're supposed to see from that.
Oh yeah, not having the whole story. I can see that.
Okay, so I think that's what that's about. That's what's about. Yeah, I think that's what it's about. But it is, so one, okay.
Okay, done.
Okay, good. Let me look at the next one. We're going to do both again, but this time it's the lung. So left wrist right there. Okay. And then we're going to and then she'll do both sides. Now, the energy's not moving through her liver and her lung. What does that mean? Magnetically, it can be frozen, it could be stuck, or a certain point can, but we just told you this beginning of her life. She's like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I understand that. She resonates to her own story, her own words, and her body is saying, and then it gets stuck. Okay, it gets stuck. So that means that the way that her intrinsic value about herself, the way what's important to her inside, gets disrupted because she's being has to look outside, the environment of how everything is, and it's now dictating to her about how she can have a life. Okay. Now, what's interesting?
They're both sore.
Okay.
They were all sore.
Interesting. Okay, so that tells me the energy's not moving. So you can't breathe and take a breath without feeling some being restriction, harassed. And a word that came up says ancient wisdom. So that's what we're connecting into. That's good. That's good. I'm asking, we're going to do just the right side and with the magnet, and we're going to do the large intestine. So right side, large intestine right there. So magnet and this.
I guess it wasn't a floppy magnet, it broke.
Oh, I know. I've used mine so much. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was floppy. It was, and I did it too hard. So
Yeah, it's okay.
anyway.
It's got a bend in it.
I rubbed the the feet points this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand points as well. Okay, I think I'm to 30.
Yeah, I just felt something in you starting to click. It's like it started to balance, but it's just a little bit off center from what I can see. And when you said that you had teeth pain and all this other stuff, I forgot to ask you to measure it, but you can remember what it felt like. Is it still the same? What do we got? Now you know that things still have to mend.
Well, right. It's the there's no tooth there, so it's not tooth pain. It's mostly the cheek where they went in. I don't know why they keep getting my cheek.
Well, there's sinus up there too.
That's where the pain is. Yeah, it's right. It's on the inside right there too.
So when
it's probably a 5 or 6.
Okay. So now when you think about this, you have sinus things that are going on and what grieves you, but it also is affecting the stomach meridian. So I'm going to have you take where your magnet and this point that you got a couple points where the stomach meridian is. Just swipe it like this for me because it's like shocked. It's like ah, and so it's like shocked. So we're going to see if we can loosen that up. Loosen that up.
Okay.
And then we're going to go down to the right foot and see if we can zing it over.
Do I need to rub that at all?
Yeah, that's good. You can do that. Now, I want you, though, to come down to the right foot. And you're going to come to that point there. And what I want you to do is I want you to use a magnet and then... that's interesting. Oh... It's brought to my attention that my clean little foot has a dirty mark on it, and I'm like, how'd that happen? And so we want to investigate. I'm looking at how we want to investigate. And it wasn't that it was something bad, but I'm like, it shouldn't be there. It can happen. So I got to figure what that means. There's some anxiety there. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to take that. I want you to imagine that you think your tooth, okay? And I want you to think of anxiety. And then I want you to tap on both sides of your head, and we're going to tap all the way down and turn our hand and go down our spine as far as we can reach. Okay, you already know this. Breathing in. And then breathing out, you can come back up. And then you're going to do your thymus. Okay, and then I feel like think of your tooth and go back up. Think of anxiety. Do it again. Go down your spine. It is connected to the whole thing that you wrote me. What I can really feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I feel it in there, and it's been. I need to get rid of that so I can.
Right.
I don't want to come back and bite me.
Okay, so good. As we're focusing on it, make sure we do another round and think about what we just said. We don't want that to come back and bite us. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
And then go back up and do it again. Now we're working more on how the nerves communicate, where the brain would communicate with the body, but the heart brain communicates more with the brain. So we got signals coming both ways. There we go. Now I want you to hold L2D. I want you to feel that question. Okay, you know that. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell me how it is. Well, what number you got?
I would say it's like hidden. It's always there.
There, you're looking right at it.
It's kind of like.
Do it again.
Like
look at it. Look at it.
It's like
look.
Thor.
Right, but look how you're not supposed, it's just, it could creep in and it could get worse, but you did it. Just look at it because there's this, there you go, just stare at it and keep holding. Oh. when you think about this, notice that it's hidden, like you said. It's like that you know that they're going to exert their power and they're going to jump out of from nowhere. It's like you know the potential, you know it because it came out of nowhere before. It came out of nowhere before. Keep staring at the hidden. Keep staring at the hidden.
But, you know, it's funny because it feels like it's like I can feel the number, but I know that it feels like there's a blanket over it. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it.
No.
That's how I know it's like.
There you go, though.
Hidden.
But that's good that you know how you know. All right, I gotta plug this back in. Plug that back in.
Because I'm not being silent, and but
Right, you know that you are going. You have a purpose. But we got to get you aligned to those that are here. Like, I have a purpose, but I can't just talk to anybody because everybody would want to, that I would want to be, it'd be like, shut me down or you're stupid. So I have to trust spirit to start communicating and relating to those that really want it. And it's like, yeah, and see, it's so easy for the platforms. If somebody has a grudge, they can make up any story. And see, this is what happened to me a long time ago. I came out of nowhere. She didn't like the fact that I was married into the family. She's not even blood related, but was married into the family. And how dare I have babies? She was supposed to have the firstborn. I'm like, but you're not blood related, and you're not really any part of this family. You're just somebody that comes and visits. But it was, how do you get me out of the way? And that was to tell a lie in hopes that and then she had firmly believed her lie. And it was just like, stop trying to take my life. It's not yours to take. There you go. There's a part of you, there you go. Now look at, as you begin to move this wall, look at it with the other eye. Is it different?
What's a 3?
Okay, so remove, transcend, let go. Now swap over and just look through the other eye.
Same, I think.
Okay, now as you begin to notice that, do you need to keep that to keep you, because fear says, I like to keep fear in order to protect me, but is that really true?
No, and my body does not listen to me.
All right, so tap your fingers on top of your head like this for me. And then switch eyes. And then keep tapping, but switch eyes. And what do you see?
It almost feels like the blanket's coming off.
Very good, very good. Remove, transcend, let go. Swap over to the other side. Now take a second and start pounding the thymus. Which eye are you looking through?
Right.
And number?
And it says, I still feel like it's barely there.
All right, remove, transcend, let go, swap eyes. Now tap the top of your head and take it down to the back as you're breathing, as you're looking through and just staring at it. Come back up, and then I'm not even going to have you, just remove, transcend, swap over the other eye, breathe it again, and notice that it's just in case. And so I take my power back. And I take whatever it is you put on me out. I'm done with this. Now switch eyes, and then tell me what number you see.
I'm curious, when you're doing this, it's repulse compatibility. Am I supposed to go through all 4 breaths?
Not in this case, because this is not quite
Okay.
repulse and compatibility. This is just creating a tsunami. And then when you tap your
Okay.
thymus heart area,
Okay.
it creates a heart-brain coherence. It's supposed
Yeah,
to.
that one's a little bit stronger
Okay.
than like the right was almost completely gone. This one's a little bit stronger than that one. It's like a 2.
All right. Well, let's tap your heart. You know, notice that again. There's. You tell me the power play. Do they have your power, or can they do that to you? Are they throwing something on you? How are they trying to convince you? What's the threat like?
It's it is like if they wanted to exert their power in any way, they could shut my doors. They have the power to do that.
Right. Okay. But notice that if you keep operating there, don't feel like that's the only place you can exist.
That's true, but when you're working with animals and people, I don't want to go. I can't go afford to rent another building. It's stupid when I have one here.
No. But that's the thing. Like, I did not think I had to come to South Australia. I had a business. Okay? But when something owns you, an idea owns you, you actually have to be victim to it.
Well, I can do all the other stuff as well. I mean, but the way that it's working is that they kind of have to be together, because you can do energy work with people, but they still don't understand
Listen to
how
me.
keep
Listen.
boundaries.
Correct. You're still developing this. But what I just said is that
Right.
if I believe that Michigan was the only place I could do my work, the building that burnt down was the only place I could do it, or that all of my classes, I had everything, but I had to let it all go because I was meant to be physically here. And if I kept holding that to the point where I need to control it, I mean, it only makes logical sense that I do it here, but I had to break free from that framework of mind. And I had to learn to trust.
That's what I would like to break free from. I mean,
right. Well, if that's
I
the
want to be able
case,
to do.
if that's the case, then you have to notice how you know restriction is the only way you're going to live. Oh, I logical sense. This is it. This is what you have to release, because it owns you. And once you give it away, you may get it exactly the way you want it, or it'll be better than you thought. Now, for me,
Right,
it was better than I thought.
They haven't done anything. It's just always in the back of my head, which means it's in me.
Right.
So I need to heal that
Right.
out.
So then you're going to write down R2D, and you're going to be working on that last bit that's in that I, because it is I can't do it again. The reason why is because you're like, I can't forget. I can't do this again. What is it the feeling state that you can't do again? What stress is that you can't do again? That's what you got to label. And once you've got it, even if it's just, I can't do it again, you need to get that out.
I think it's a territory thing too.
It is. But definitely is, I can't do it again. Your party uses, I've already gone through this. It's going to happen again. I don't want it to happen again. You're repeating, stuck right there. So if you can get into that feel and then hold that R2D, really stare it down, because I noticed you kept looking at it, you're going to be able to take and break down the chemical peptide. Okay?
Okay. Is there any points to get rid of the numbing stuff, the medication that they gave me today as well?
So the stuff that I had to do was that helping to take care of the So yes, the liver is what we started with. And the reason they went to the lung and the liver and the lung is both of them help process out chemicals. The breathing helps process out. The liver needs to help metabolize the process out. So go back and do the lung and the liver.
Okay.
Is there any other in kidney? I would say the next one would be your kidney. But the main thing, which is on the right, do both sides. You can use a magnet if you choose, but it is following the big toe behind the ankle bone.
Okay.
Because that's more of the water, the filter. And then you have the other one, which is more of the waste and metabolism of the blood. But it's we started off, I guess, with that, from what I can see. Now, how does that feel?
It's just sore where like I said, it's the gum is what hurts.
Right. So
cut it open and stuff.
So as long as you don't touch it, it will have a chance to heal.
Like that hurts.
All right. Well, remember, that's all muscle worn and all of that. So that will take time.
Okay.
But is it still is it the same 6 as you had, or is it just a form of different?
It's still sore.
It's going to be sore until the nerves and everything repair.
I know that.
But as far as the energy flow, I see energy flow.
Okay.
That's what you got to do.
The one I was working on, they said R2D. Is it shifting if I work on it? Because the reason I always come to you is because I can't really tell if it's all the way gone. Or remember, I thought it was gone, and but it was really a 3.
Okay, remember? I would then just start to add that with it as you're talking. When you're healing it, add the tapping, and then every now and then tap the thymus. Start working with the body on that particular level to see, because we want all of it to take and release. Okay? All right. Thank you, my dear.
You're awesome.
Thank you. You too. I love you, hon. All right. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay, so now we'll move on to no, Morgan, you're here. That's good. And then I don't know if Joy paid. I don't know. I have to look. I know she had mentioned, but I don't see anything come through from what I can see. Oh, it did right there. 2 and a 3. So you got okay. So 1 for you and 1 a piff. Joy. And did she ever make it to the other screen? Because that one died. Oh, crap. She was on the other screen. Did she get to make it to this room? Hold on. Let's see if I can... Oh, good. Joy's here. I'll tell you. Okay, good. Joy, I'm so glad we were able to find you. All right, ready for yours real quick, and then we'll go on to the freebies. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I needed that. Oh, interesting. My boob made it close. Hold on again. Okay, there you are. Whew. It's not too bad today, but it is a little warm. All of a sudden, Joy is like, my heart wants to sing, but my body doesn't want to. But my heart wants to sing. Or do you want her to do heart-brain coherence? What are you referring to? They said she has memorized her life of having the environment be so lofty, so I don't know how to explain it. The environment. I'm asking, and they're showing me a picture of your house. I'm not doing any remote viewing. They're showing me, and I said lofty. It's like I have memorized that this is how this is how relationships, this is how this is all supposed to be. Always has to be some type of trauma. Always has some type of drama. Now, has your friends been visiting you from the other side? Because I feel like you go to sleep and they will be, it's like you can hear love. Love is a song. There's something about, they've been communicating with you. Now, they're saying your identity, there's something about your identity, is that you, when you were little, you were really hurt, and so you would criticize. And you have been really growing up, and you're like, no, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm not going to want to do it, so you do it through jokes. It's like we did in class. Okay. So when you talk to the body, you have the ability to talk to your body. And if you are in pain and you start agreeing with your body that it's upsetting and all of this, then the body's just going to get worse. But if you were to, if you sing a song, make sure that when you're doing it, it is about empowering yourself, telling yourself your body in a loving way through song, and the body will not know it's anything negative, and it will start to find the rhythm of the musical notes because you're singing and it's upbeat, that the body will not know that it has to be in a negative state. So the nerves actually begin to, like, I can't remember her last name, but Marissa, she says when she was in a car accident, got ran over, her legs were crushed, and so she's like, okay, her body's screaming at her. She didn't go there with her mind. She says, yep, everything's repairing, everything's healed, all is good. And she just talked to, she would say a statement, you know, everything is healthy and perfect right now. She's holding space for herself. She was holding herself whole, and she recovered like this. So that is what they're telling me, is they want you to start to sing to get the body, to get your body out of stress, give a new message to the body, and start to get your heart into that space. So they said to really get your heart-brain coherence, go to look at heart math, learn the breathing, and they had different numbers. So it's usually breathe in to 5, breathe out to 5. Some do 6, some do 8. But it is getting your breathing, doing belly breathing is better. Once you put your hand over your heart and start doing this with your heart, and the energy of awareness over your heart, and you imagine that your heart is breathing and doing this beautiful singing, you can start putting gratitude in the heart. And what happens is that your heart brain coherence, even if you can hold it for like get it, you know, do 5 minutes a day, and if you can get it up, you know, 1.5 or up to 2 and then up to 5, you can get it up quite high. And just doing 2 or 3 times a day starts to repair the rest of the body. So then the heart brain, the brain that's in the heart, will start sending messages to the brain that everything is better, it's all good. So they're saying if you can bring in, and like I said, heart math, you can just look on YouTube for any of that or Google it. You can get an app. The app requires you to get like an ear clip. It costs, but you know, so those little things. Oh, look at them kissing on each other. That's just for you, Joy Joy. Clean my feathers. Okay. I sing and dance every single morning, and then I meditate. Go, Joy Joy, go. They are very supportive on the other side. They've been helping you find a song. So if you wake up more with a song, notice that they want you to get into communication. And if they have a song that you're not sure why you're singing, go look at the lyrics so that they can help you aim at what you're supposed to heal. They're willing to do healings like that with you. Okay? I love when they can do that on the other side. All right, let me double check to make sure all of the paids. Now we're going to collect and look at these names. So we have Jennifer, Angela, Morgan, Sherry, if you're here. I don't know if she might have left. Sarah V and Autumn. If I get to the right screen, it'd be all good. There we go. I hear all these strange, it's like ding dong, and somebody's got their phone out. Okay, so I see Jennifer, okay, and then I see Autumn, okay. Looking for Sarah V, Angela Stokes, and Morgan. So Jennifer, You guys ready? You're welcome, Joy Joy. Can you see any of my comments? Yes. You said I sing and dance in every single morning, and I love it. Okay. Any other comments? I can hear and learn from love from your birds. Look at them. I think you love that. I think they're awesome. Lack of power. Jennifer Osika, lack of power. So you have a theme that part of life lesson is the lack of power. So I keep hearing this like a little drum beat, lack of power. I said her, them, this is what it's supposed to be. This is the conversation and oh, it's kind of like we talked about. Okay, so there's a certain amount of a conversation. But it's like this is where people don't know how to let things go. So do people obsess over and over and won't let it go? Do you understand? It's like the obsession has a heartbeat. The reason that's come into play is that someone's very fanatical. Are you? Okay, and right now they're just saying, I think Julie's here. There's something about confidence. Confidence. Oh, okay, Julie is here. She says she's living by the seat of her pants, and she doesn't notice that she needs to step up and be that cheerleader and just take life and just enjoy it. There was something that she said to you when you were little. I can't understand what it is. Something about fancy pants. That's not it. You know, if I was there, you'd be much farther along. She says, you're finally starting to get bored with something in your life. She says, but I don't know if that's enough motivator to step into who you want to be. She's taking credit for getting you on the road to this stuff. She says you are such a little spitfire fighter, but there's something about you can't stop getting out of being self-centered, and that there's this karmic thing that keeps going over and over and over, and there's a lot of mental anguish. You with me on this? They said there's the way we think, but the thing that she wants you to help you do is get out of being afraid to work, because the next thing you have to do, it's not about work as in like how Tom would work, but to work is a dirty word. You love the work you got, but you're supposed to do more. Do more. Jennifer, does this make any sense? Because what they're telling me to do is that it's time to look at these insecurities. Everything I said, you can see your actions, you can see all of these things, but it's time to look at the insecurity. Just directly call it what it is. I feel insecure. And there are times that I know that I feel insecure, that I will create a self-imposed limitation, and then I will do what I've always done and back away. I don't know that word, work, like fun work. Yes, I get it. Okay. Right. And so you had a job. The thing that made you have sour apples about work, were you working as a psychiatrist or working with things that break your heart? Anyways, that left a bad taste in your mouth, and you're like, I don't like all of this territorial control. There was just too many restrictions, too many this, too many that. You felt your freedom, and this is connected to how, social work, okay. And this is connected to how you felt with your dad. He had to work too much, or mom, somebody had to work too much. There was no time for the kids. Oh, for you guys. So you said, I'm going to make life better, and I'm going to give my kids what I didn't have, because you're still holding a grudge against about how you didn't have your parents. So it's the grudge that you're meant to heal, but it's in the heart, because you're like, I can't be confident because I didn't get that stability that I knew I should have gotten. And so I'm still holding on to that I don't have the skills. And I said, what? And they go, I'm scared. I don't feel confident. Julie was my confident. Julie was the button. Julie was. So they're saying that, is that what you think's the best? Julie says that you have a code identity. You have to keep living into this identity. And it's like, I need to stop looking at how my little said it's because of this. Dad died young, and he did was work. Okay, but notice how if I'm going to work, I'm going to die. I'm going to die young, or I'm going to, but there's a part of you that has a grudge that you didn't get parented the way that you wanted to be parented, and so you gave that to your kids, but you're like, I can't be confident because if I go and do this, something bad's going to happen. Left wrist first position deeps. Right now, your heart is saying, holding all of your little girl fears. So L1D to those fears. That's where I'd start. Okay? And she's left you some roses or flowers or yellow flowers or something. She's left you some flowers. I don't know where you'll see them or find them. Anyways, go heal yourself. You're worth it. And your sister says, you need to get her past and up over this hill. It's like you keep pulling a rock up and it keeps falling. You keep pulling a rock up, it keeps falling. She says, you got to get that dang thing, smash it down, and, turn it to dust. That's what she's saying. Don't be pushing that over the hill anymore. Autumn. Do I have that? Yeah, autumn. Autumn. Okay. Hopefully they don't get shut down from this, but it's like So Autumn, there's this judgment that when you are, it's funny, it doesn't show me that it's gone, but it is. Okay. When you are, oh God, we have to break up with the relationship that judgment is the ultimate rule, that judgment can deliver pain. Judgment stops you from your truth. Judgment is that I know better than you. Judgment. You're going to have to start to notice when you see judgment is a restriction. Understand judgment benefits others and not you. The judgment. They said you're spending too much time escaping. I'm assuming that means doing something to change the alter of the brain, to escaping, as the tool to help you cope with when the judging gets too much. Okay? And they said, I'm looking, no, they still want you to just start to address how the triple warmer is that you're so tired of the blame. Communication, discouragement, blame. It's like the communication. You know exactly what that is going to be. That's what it's going to be. And you're like, So the first thing they want you to do is start to calm the body. And it's like, I'm going to have to behave that way. I'm going to have to behave that way. So the first thing they want you to do is R3S. Notice the body starting to go there. Begin to hear. Don't fall for it. You're going to feel it. I want you to hear it and notice it's discouraged. It is about judgment. It is about restriction. It's like, I want you to not hear what they're saying. I want you to see what it's doing. Okay? And so then you are going to then you're going to go into L2D. Say R3S first. Okay, and then you're going to go into L2D, left wrist, second position D. And you're going to go, oh my God, I have to change my behavior. I got to live a lie. I've got to live the way they want. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I want you to feel that it's manipulating. Yeah, it's you can see it and all this, and you can feel it manipulating. And that you're like, the only way to make that stop is to change my behavior. Because that's what it's asking you to do. And so notice this is the hear. You hear. Your nerves are like, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. So you may want to go and do that free healing tool with, go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Look at the healing tools of sensory accessing and start to remove, once you finally start to really look at, okay, so when you're doing either one of these, I want you to add this to your head so that we can start creating the tsunami. And every now and then, when you're thinking, I want you to come down here, okay, because we got to start pulling it out of the body. But sensory ear accessing, it's sensory accessing, so it just shows you the eyes and the nose, but you can do it with the ears. Because I want you to begin to notice, oh my God, I hear this discouragement. I can feel the energy. I can feel the judgment. And I can, don't hear the words, just know what they are. And then you're going to go, oh my God, okay, so you're going to cover up, switch, and then you're only going to hear out one ear. You're going to just, and then you're going to move, transcend, let go, swap ears, and just keep doing it because the body wants to stop hearing and listening this way. Okay? Alrighty, now I'm going to go on to Angela Stokes and then Morgan. Angela, and Morgan says, would you like me to say my question? Yes, do that right now. You can say it, honey, if you got one. Yes. Yeah, both TikToks are gone. So YouTube's left and Facebook. You're welcome. Go heal yourself. You're worth it. Okay. Angela Stokes, hopefully you're present. Okay, and then I'll get to Morgan. Okay, Angela. Okay, so mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest criticizer of all? You are criticizing yourself. You are taking, and your brain is pulling up, anytime anybody's ever criticized, you've pulled it up and you believed it as truth. Can you see that you've done that? It's not. But people influence you too easily because you were always taught at a very young age to look and say, can I? And you are now starting to learn to be more independent. You're learning to be more stronger. And those people don't want you really to be there. They want you to be how they remember you. And you're like, but I don't want to do that anymore. So when you keep hearing that criticism, I want you to go inside your head and kick them out. You're going to go to my website, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. That's WEBLY.com. And go to Healing Tools Thought Management. Do what it says. You are then going to take and do R1S because people love to control your territory, right? Wrist, first position, soft. They like to control your territory. They like to, they feel like that's their part they're supposed to play in your world. You did need them probably at one point, but now you don't need them as much. When you don't need somebody to do it and you start relying on yourself, you're going to start making a bigger difference in your world. Because that's how you take your pen back. You literally learn how to take your pen back by going, I don't need them as much as they need me. Or okay, so you're learning to grow. So I'm going to tell you that, and then I want you to go left wrist, first position, soft, because that criticism is constantly telling you, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. And you're like, oh my God, what's the right way? This is the right way. No, if you start noticing everybody has a different opinion, and the right way for each person is wrong for each person. Discovering yourself knowing healing yourself is more right than having to be in pain. Okay, go heal yourself. You're worth it, Angela. Morgan says, well, it was from them. You gotta, okay, Angela, you're not doing well, are you? I want you to do me a favor. I want you to realize how you're in pain and your brain is not where it should be and it is a mess. I want you to go down to your right foot and I want you to follow the big toe, follow it right here and push in nice and deep. You don't need a magnet, just push in deep. We got to get your brain back to the Angela that knows what healing does and that can testimony and has witness. We want that Angela back. You're starting to notice a difference between when Angela is disconnected from her whole self and that she's just left brain and a part. Her spirit Angela is going, I want my back, I miss me. So you start with that right there, just pushing and deeply rub. Okay. And then when you're done, you're going to go to the the right foot again, and then you're going to go on top, but this time you're going to use a magnet. And then you're going to push in nice and deep. So 24 and 30. Your body and your brain and your heart are out of whack. And we just need to get the energy moving to get yourself back, because I want you to go, God, I missed myself. I want you to start to recognize there's parts of you. You want to be your whole self, or do you want to be your part of yourself? So learning to become your whole self. And that is that state that we're looking for. So as soon as she's done with that, she'll say done, and I'll give her next point. I'm going to use 2 piffs on her. Got it nice and purple. Can't really see it all that well, but it's purple. You guys probably can't see that I'm using a foot because camera. I might see if I can lower it at some point. Okay, so now she's going to go to start with your left side first. Follow, so it's inside leg, follow the big toe, go behind the ankle bone, and I want you to just push in and rub 30 times. And then you're going to do the right side. Left side first, then the right. Now, I want you to start to notice how your brain feels when you're done with that. And then tell me, like, can you feel a difference? Because you should be able to go, oh, I felt like shit, and now I feel better. And then tell me how you feel. Is it still a mess? You're going to go to the left side foot, and then you're going to follow your pinky toe, and you're going to go up to the ankle bone. And you're going to feel right in front, like a squishy, or push in, okay? Push in, and then rub. But you need to use a magnet, I think. You'll fall into a hole or it's squishy. But use a magnet and then push in deeply, okay? And then you should start to really feel better. and say, do you miss yourself yet? Because usually that's when you're like, you feel back. I'm back. I missed myself. What's the clue for Morgan? What I would like to ask Morgan is, has any of the healing tools ever helped? Because I know that on this planet we have different, I know people don't want to hear this, but we have different forms of humans that have come from different types of spaces, like interplanetarian. So you don't always have to recycle. There's people that are here that are helping the planet, and I feel like Morgan is one of them. So helping those people, I have to understand. Gotcha. Helping those people understand how to heal, and there's a different way of healing, and I think that okay, you think it has, cause I felt weird sometimes and it's helped, so the weirdness would leave, correct? I just need to know from Angela right now if she has gotten any number. Does she feel better? And she needs to be holding L2D because she has a lot of regret. So Morgan, when you begin to, so we got to build that up for you. We got to build that up for you. So you're like, oh, because see, you keep coming. Okay, so Angela L2D. Think that. Your spirit part of you keeps coming because it wants something. It knows it's getting something. To look at your blueprint and know that you're more than just human, and the energetic sense for Morgan is that not all of us humans are definitely not the same. We have the same kind of bones, the same human structure, but there's different kinds of energies, different reasons we've come in. So Morgan, I'm going to look at that and use your question. So the bottom left, very back molar had a break. You asked me if it broke or is it broken. Some of the teeth are still there. Now I feel like you grind. I feel like you're a grinder at night, a grinder. So the body is holding the stress a certain way. Some of the teeth are still there and it didn't cause any pain or bleeding, which is interesting. Yeah, you never had a root canal? That's just your normal molars? It was the same tooth that caused swelling. Okay. Usually if you had a root canal, you wouldn't notice that. Back left, back left. Okay. Back left. And today you weren't even sure if you wanted to read. I was eating when that happened. Yeah. Okay, so the one thing about, did you ever have a filling in it? I don't think so. You don't think you grind. I feel a lot of stress in there. Okay, so you don't know if you want to read it. Yeah. All right, so I know you're building a repertoire of how to look at life, heal life, and be part of this world. No, but I did on a different too. Okay. But these questions you have. So your soul wants to know. In some regards, you kind of feel helpless when certain things happen, but you can't connect or relate to some things, but you know that you want to. And there's a part of you that's stuck in a behavior. And the reading of your heart to your brain is not as strong as the way your brain to your body is. So the heart brain is not as strong. Why? Okay, so it is like a past life thing. Well, how would I help her? I mean, do I have the tool? Yes. Okay. All right, so just follow along with me. We're going to just start moving energy and doing our best to help get some form of coherence. You probably are not going to be able to say, oh, I know a difference, which is what I usually like to have the most. But there may be a part of you that may have the satisfaction that you're looking for. Does that make sense? Because you want to connect. But, so where do you want her to go? They said they want you to take your magnet or your hand and go here to the upper lip. And the connection is like how your nose connects to the top part. So just take your hand and go like this, palm, back of the hand. Do that 24 times. And then when you're done, I need you to push in and rub 30 times. The energy that comes in to help you self-govern, to have that autonomy, that right to be you, and the sovereignty, the right to self-govern. The energy is I know that there's a connection. I know you've got that. There's something else there. I don't know how else to explain it. There's a part of your theme is to keep you around the home. Don't let her outside is what I hear. Don't let her go, even though you want to. And I said, how can we help? Is that they said they want you to just rub, and then they said connect. And then when you're done, just say, I connect. Say, I connect to my feelings. I connect to my feeling body. Now put the word body at the end. I connect. Good, keep working on it, Morgan. But I want you to just, I connect my mental body. I connect my emotional body to this physical body. I'm not getting the full read in your aura that says that there's communication. I just keep seeing a disconnect. So let's start putting that I connect and then rubbing it. Okay, I connect. A part that you're supposed to do is bust through is to start to see differences. No matter how minute, your part of you is saying, I need to create so I can grasp. I need to create. So, I'm going to ask, why is there a demoralizing? Is it because of the alien aspect of it? No, it has a lot to do with certain resonating deficiency that I was born with, okay? And is that going to stop you from actually healing and connecting? No, that's my hurdle. Okay. That part of the brain is holding, again, I feel like in a past life or interplanetarian life, you felt you had to disconnect. Oh, you signed up to come here. Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like you signed up to come here, and it is the mental body and the emotional body. You are meant to hold space so the world will change. That's part of your job. You're supposed to hold space and help teach the world, your parents and others about that they got to think differently. They got to think outside the box. Like what I'm doing my best for you now is that I'm supposed to think outside this box for you, Morgan. I'm doing my best to say, what is it that we can help Morgan? I always had weird thoughts about being here. Yeah, I feel, okay, I'm just going to flat out say it. I don't know if I don't care what anybody else believes that. We're all star seeds. We're all aliens. There's no such thing as nothing. Everything is alien. Everything. But the thing is that some souls, instead of just recycling into hell, some will come in and they don't have to do the karmic wheel, but they volunteer to hold a different space to help with the people that haven't let go of the past and the 3D and all of this. And so you come in with different filters. You come in and it's like, okay, how do I communicate with this? And nothing wrong with it. It's just that, okay, like that, the blood type, the rare blood type, okay? You're here. You're beautiful. You're human. And how do we help? How do we help? What's the best way? Because the tools are different. But I feel that you want to connect emotionally or mentally. You want to get something. You want to learn something. That's why you keep coming back, from what I can feel. Like you're starting to get answers, and yet at the same time, one of the things is you can't compare yourself, please don't, to anybody else that's done any healing or haven't done any healing, because you are this beautiful soul doing your job, but you just have different sets of rules. Like ever since Monday, we're in a whole new energy timeline of God and spirit and the way that humanity is meant to operate. And I'm having the transformation of learning different language, different spellings, it looks the same, so the mandalas like the same, but there's energy, that's frequencies that are different with it. So just be kind with yourself for the next, I think, I would say a month for transformation. Be kind, keep loving yourself, keep working on your dreams. You're making a difference, Morgans, regardless of if you think you are or you're not, you are. But when you came here, all that's forgotten, and you're here to do what you got to do. But if you start, like, I know that I think differently. And when I started to download more about who I was supposed to become, it wasn't until my 30s. And that part of me was, I am a future shaman. I'm not from generations of past shamans in this, but I am in a past life a shaman. It was like I had to remember all my skills. So if you've ever watched everything's happening everywhere all at once. No, I said it was wrong. It's a movie, but what it is that you can download different information while you're in this particular situation. And the same for the other movie, it's like a documentary, The Matrix. So we can go and take from our future and from our past and from our other lives, downloading certain things about, because we're not really learning as much as we're remembering. So you're here in this storyline to help the planet, but and the consciousness, but at the same time, I've asked if you've ever been here before, and it's like, yes. But But at the same time, you know that this is like a way station. It's really it's a really cool school to be in, even though it can be rough as hell to be human. But we don't have to believe that anymore because consciousness is changing. I'm hoping all of you are hearing this, and it is different. I know it's different. Angela says, I'm tired. I haven't been able to type today. Okay. Does she have any regret? No. But it's when she goes into those states of mind, is that the question is, do you need to? You should be going, I regret going there. I don't need to go there. And that's where I would say, hold, I'm going there. I regret going there. It takes me into pain. It pulls me from him. So do you feel like, oh, good, I miss myself? My light was just blinking a few times and stopped. This light hasn't done that. Ah, okay. Did it make any sense, Morgan? You are a beautiful soul. Morgan, you're a beautiful soul. You are here to do an amazing job. You already are. Yours is not meant to be loud like mine, but you're here to do something, and you're already doing it, and you are making a difference. But yeah, your energies, I'm proud of you. Okay. Yeah, you have to rewatch. It's I've known this for a while, and I've been always asking, how do you want me to show up? And they said, well, there's pieces of information that you'll get that will help you understand. And it wasn't until we had this big download that it's like, oh yeah. So we can't just claim that we've all been here, or we're all human. There's no other such thing. But I'm looking at how your energy is this beautiful. Because if we ask what race, if we want to really break it down into humanistic terms, what race would you come from? I feel like I've come from the seraphim realm. I feel like you're an interplanetarian. You came from another realm. I don't know which one, but it could be, all those other things. Okay. But you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Don't compare yourself to the world. Don't compare yourself to the world. I want my happy back. I think I'm just in a bad mood because I'm sick. No. You're sick, and yeah, it can help you create yourself in a bad mood, but you also feel the pressures, Angela, of that's how I'm supposed to be, is sick. Now, you're saying that everything I helped you with is you're still in the bad mood. I don't know what to say to you except for get fluids in you. Get your electrolytes up if you can hold it down. Your body should start being able to repair itself. Well, knowing about that makes me want to know more, but I probably shouldn't know too much. Well, when the timing is right, like some people will just go after it and they will listen to the wrong people and get wrong information. Thank you, Spirit. If I'm supposed to know more about my history, it'll just show up. And mine always did. I didn't push it. It was where I was at, and all of a sudden it was divine timing I would hear. And I'm like, whoa. Every little event that I've ever had, they were not close together. They were far apart. But when I look back, they were very much close together. And it was coming to terms with not comparing me to the rest of the way the world thinks. Because I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm only speaking to a few. Just ask, and Spirit will just start making certain things appear. But just start learning to listen to things with a grain of salt. Begin to come in and go, oh, that kind of makes sense. All right. It feels natural. You got to understand how you know. And I think that's one reason you keep coming to me is because it's like, well, how do you know? How do I know? But then there's a part of you that knows that when you wake up, you know you're Morgan. And when you do things, you know that that's what you do. Okay, did I miss anybody? Is anybody else here looking for a read or a pre-read? Those, I gotta get 2 new phones. That sucks. Okay. And then we're gonna bring Ayme on. I don't. Oh, I probably should open that up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I saw TP, so I'm just going to give the link to Ayme. Thanks. Honestly, can't wait to be able to join Trouble now, because I gotta ask about my weird dreams now. So Tribal is this group soul coaching that we touch on very deep details of about being human. Your Facebook froze. Oh, anybody else have the Facebook? I'm hoping. Hi.
You're not frozen on Facebook for me.
Okay, so Robyn, I will give you a piff. I know you're sitting there. Yeah, I gotta fix those 2 phones or do something. It might be just because it's just super freaking hot. I don't know.
I don't know what just happened, but I could not sit still. I feel like my wings unfurled. Like in the last, say, 10-ish minutes, if that.
Because I was talking about talking about alien stuff.
It was just the weirdest thing. I just could not. I mean, it was like I just could not sit still.
Yeah, it's when you what was your thoughts about aliens before?
I've always kind of been interested in them.
Okay.
I've never really dove into it.
What does the people think around you?
I know that we're all aliens.
Going back with family, what would you think they believe?
Growing up, I honestly have always been interested in aliens. Like,
So your brothers and your dad and your mom were all interested in aliens.
Oh God, no.
That's what I'm asking.
I was. No, they.
Right. But I'm asking because you can be interested in anything you want, but you've proven to yourself and me for so long that you could not be you until they passed.
Mm-hmm. I remember I loved Star Trek. The show Alien, do you remember that back in the 80s where they came from another planet and most of them were born on the ship. The dad carried the baby.
Oh, no, I don't think I have.
That was like my favorite show.
Okay.
Maybe early 90s.
When I told you, what was it, a couple weeks ago? I said, oh, you're next.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I'm like, okay. Thank you, Spirit. How am I supposed to show up for this?
Okay. So, you saw yourself as separate, though, yes?
Mm-hmm.
When you start shifting to the point that you know you're not separate, like, why is it Robyn and I know deep down what a dragon is? Because it's part of our nature. To everybody else, it's woo-woo and stupid and oh my God. And that goes against church and everybody else and oh my God. And the whole world's going to hate me. But we are more accepted now. And we think, look at all the scary movies about aliens that were like, they're coming and they're going to take over. And And the first thing is war, war, war. Who's going to win? Who's going to... we just got done watching Another World. So Another Earth appeared. And it's the same world, except for just different, some certain decisions, you know, they hinted. So that based is kind of like on string theory. You know, there's all these different views. Now, we're all aliens. We're all different races when you come, but when you look, we're all human. We all choose this particular form of communication, which is when we chose this as the spirit, the spirit essence. If you really go back even further beyond those stories, you are just stardust. You are this consciousness. So when we start laying claim that we're just this and just this, we are not rising to the next level that you're meant to go. So the question then is, did my imagination get to the best of me, or did something spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically happen? The answer is yes. Take it in, because I remember when I stepped into that goddess self, it was the most bizarrest thing in the world. And the integration of these voices I didn't even realize existed was that there was different parts of me and different, it freaked out the people that were with me, but I knew what was going on. It was the integrations of certain personalities, and if you understand it on a, is it Seth books? It's Oversoul is in charge of all these other personalities. And then when you get lessons and things learned, you can create this integration. And the Akasha is the spirit essence where soul resides. You read that, and when you read that, you just gave me back, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm thinking, but you just read a code. You were unaware, unless you go, ooh, that's good information. But Akasha and Akashic records, so you get to see the records, but when you start to integrate each part of those personalities that are these particular things that your soul does, and then when you start to integrate this as more of your higher state, because don't keep capping yourself, but we are unfolding. So as I was talking, and the energy was very much clear that we all have to make it a norm to some degree to change the face of how things are. There are people, certain type of I just know them as IPs at this point, come in and they take those autism realms and they take those spectrums and they go into these things because it's meant to shake up and change the world. So what does that mean for you? You had, look at your theme. What is your theme been when you've been, since you've come here? What do you know about your soul's theme?
This lifetime has been abandonment, it's been grief, it's been despair. It's been about loss.
So do you still have to believe any of it?
No.
Do you have to be controlled by any of it?
No.
Are you supposed to have that importance of all of that and remain as that idea?
No.
So since you have decided to shift energy, be more of your spiritual self, and know when you are missing you, and you begin to really hone in on all of those limitations are gone, and you can realize that you can step further than you stepped before. How much have you felt like you've achieved and you didn't even know that was possible?
Alive.
Right. So when somebody says they changed, you can actually now have a parameter that says, oh, I know what change is, and I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because,
Um,
so what personalities
I was
are you
actually
missing?
talking about that on my walk today.
Okay.
I was talking about how, how much I've changed in the past 9.5 months.
Physically, mentally.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
When people change spiritually, it means what personalities are they not doing anymore? Because they integrated them. Which ones are you missing? Nellie, is she still there?
No, not really.
Okay.
Pretty much all of them are integrated. There's one that's still, not wanting to let go of something, and I can't see it. But when it's time, I know I will.
Good, good, good. But do you miss any of those personalities?
No.
Did they were important. They didn't die. They're integrated. Can you tell that?
Yeah. Yeah, because I see things differently now. Even if I think the latest one that did get integrated was my 6th grade self.
Okay.
I had we were out in study hall, and this boy, he proposed to me. And Monday night, Monday afternoon, there was this post on our city Facebook page saying that a 53-year-old man had hit a tree and the car exploded. And then that night, I got this message that one of my classmates, this boy that had proposed to me when I was in 6th grade, died. And I didn't correlate the two until the next day when somebody put that. And it's like, I was like, wow, his soul wanted to go that way. I didn't go down the timeline of, oh my God, how horrible of a death that is.
Oh,
Yes,
so
it's horrible.
the old you would have lost it.
Old me would have. I mean, for a split second, I was like, oh, that's sad.
That's normal.
But then I was like, I pulled myself back together. And this was during tribal, and I was on camera. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have to go there. I don't have to feel sad. It was the way that he wanted to go, and all of these things went through my head, and I'm like, and I could feel my classmates all going, oh my God, this is horrible. How a regular normal human goes through all of...
Right. You have to go the shock, despair, and all of this.
Mhm.
And the 5 stages of grief, and you're supposed to be just so human and just so over-identifying with matter. But when you've been healing your heart and the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, what have you been noticing is you don't have to go there and hurt yourself over time. You're removing the shock. Why do we have to make shock so death be so shocking? Why do we have to do that? It's not about we don't have compassion. It's just that we don't have to go down that road to do what?
We don't have to go down that road for the grief. We don't have to be traumatized by it anymore.
Right, and we don't have to do the worst case scenarios of how it felt. Oh my God,
Right.
It must have been bad. Oh my God, I don't want that to happen to me. Fear takes it, and that survival is like, I don't want it to oh my God, what? Part of your integration is just removing the fear. And when you start to remove the fear and open the heart, all of a sudden it's like, I don't have to go there. A lot of people are not going to understand that.
Yeah, no, they don't. And it's like, when I do my show and people are so grief-stricken that they've lost a person or an animal or something, and it's like, yes, it's sad, but you don't have to follow the stream of energy that says that you have to act or be a certain way or feel a certain way, like when Lily died.
Right. Right. You don't have to do that norm. People say they want to be normal, but that norm was already, it's written, it's already there, but you are meant to wake up and evolve. Take the wisdom and realize that I don't need to keep doing this. I want out of creating hell on earth. The biggest thing, and I'm curious, I had this friend that said, well, you shouldn't be healing all of this because if you take away all the negative, then you won't have this spice for your life. And I'm looking and I'm like, so you say you've been healing, but you never got the wisdom? And the reason I went there was I said, what if she's right? And I asked Spirit. I didn't ask other people. I asked Spirit. Spirit says, okay, let's see you go through this. And it wasn't pretty. Went through it, healed it, and was like, oh, I got the wisdom. I don't need to hold resentment. I don't need to do all this. It takes my life force. It makes me physically sick. I thought I was aiming for, this is part of the reluctant healer. They think that on that soul level, you're supposed to just be so traumatized all the time and have that fight. And that's what's called life. And it's not. It's a form of a choice. But it's one where, when, you know, and they were on this, they said, no, they're evolving. I said, well, why are you holding that restriction then? What do you think I'm asking?
Why are we still stuck? Why hold that paradigm of we have to be traumatized by everything that is less than love?
Hey, I'm done with stress. I'm done with stress. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with all that. Where I can see, where did I go? Where's my happiness at? Where did it go? I miss me. And when I decided I don't need trauma or drama, I've got a bunch of twos here, 5 right in a row. Oh, actually, we had 5, 6, 7, 8. We had 8 twos for just a split second. Integration is super important. Because nothing dies, but you don't long or miss the past. You don't have to yearn for the future. You don't have to be there. You can be here. And when you start to really be here, it just is like, wow, how beautiful. Yes, I can go through these things, but I don't have to go through it in such a trauma and a drama. I can rewrite my life in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look back, you're like, I'm doing it. Where you never had belief and faith in yourself before. You had to get it from other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
How does it feel to hold the pen?
I love it.
It's not a pencil with an eraser. You can, but now you got so much confidence, you got a damn pen.
Yeah.
And you're taking your time to write. So it's legible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a conversation, and time's almost up, but you're witnessing, rehashing, and being. That is the most important part, so you don't let the egg seal back over. And so congratulations on beginning to notice that who you were then and who you are now. And if I said if there's anything in particular that you need to do, is that you just have to start to really do your homework on expectations. That little that you want to integrate is like, well, I expected them to be there. You learn that from other people. Well, I expected you to do your homework. I expected you to do it this way. So the word expect has a strong vibe, and it causes limitations. and it keeps people vulnerable, and it keeps everybody at in a feud, and it puts all the responsibility on one person, and when that one person don't show up, the other person can destroy them.
Mhm.
The point is do we want to play that out?
Oh.
Ooh, epiphany?
Yeah, about the conversation that we had yesterday. That
Okay.
whole long
Yep.
conversation. It's like, it's all clicking into place again.
So now why is it that conversation was important for you? Don't kick the flames.
Don't take the blame, and it has to do with seeing how other people can't see anything other than through their survival mindset or their ego mindset.
Okay. You're also working on competition.
Mm-hmm.
That part of your little is like, yoo-hoo, I got more than you. Yoo-hoo, I got this. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. Why do you need them to see what you have and they don't? Why is that important? Why do you need to brag in that fashion? What's it feed you? I mean, didn't know you were really doing it, but that little still does it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I don't understand. But you just saw it. The AY just saw it. Don't go back to sleep.
That little, in order to have any kind of attention from mom and dad, she had to try to put one over on the brothers and see, I got this, you didn't.
Right.
Yes, you don't.
Very good, very good, very good. So when you start to begin to heal that, that will definitely be your bladder, L3S. Because you had to build false realities. And you had to do that because that was the cognitive skills you had as a kid, but at the same time you wanted your brothers to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to them to be jealous of you. You wanted them. Something to do with I don't get the love back. So the only way you could get love, or the only way that you could as a child, was to do it in the way you just said it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could feel you weren't. What's that?
Love is a weapon.
Yeah. And so you didn't get that same love you had for them, and when you began to notice it, the only way you could do it, because you could feel how they hurt you, well, it's tit for tat, and I have to do this, and I have to, like you said, one up the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as AY, said, but I'm ready to integrate that. Does that part of you feel threatened that it's going to die? Or is it gonna hand you the wisdom so it can integrate and be happy too, instead of having to play these games? Charlie, where are you? Oh no, that's the guy. All I saw was a button here.
Well, Charlie, he's sitting there talking to people. It's almost ready to integrate. There's still something more I need to see, I think.
Right, it's like all I can see is like I don't want to give up my power, because that was the only way I got what? Can you see her power? She's like her power of being mad, the power of
love.
because she says I'm important. Damn it, that's how I see myself. Is I'm important. She doesn't want to give that up. She thinks if she gives that up, she won't be important anymore. You know, it's the same equivalent to when somebody dies and you're crying, you can't hear them. But the moment you heal that, you can hear them, then there's great love. And people are afraid that, oh, if I heal that, then they're gone forever. And you know that's not true.
No, that's not true at all.
Right, so it's the same thing.
Away when you hang on to the grief.
Then tell your little exactly what you just said. If she holds on to that,
it's like, okay, I'm ready to let go.
okay, so when you get off from here, you're going to be tested. Not a power of suggestion, just understand, you know that this is how this works. You may be startled. You may go right into it in a knee-jerk response. But you're meant to get to the peak feels so that she can hand over the wisdom to you. And when you begin to do this, you're going to notice that it's going to be R2S that you're going to be holding.
Okay.
She's going to test you. She's going to want to try to be the personality in charge. She knows she can't, but she's going to give it a good go.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to talk to you later.
And if she takes over and changes your behavior before you change hers, then it'll be an interesting, stressful time.
Grace and ease, please.
Thank you for saying that. So, AY's ready to, don't rip off the blankets and just grace and ease, and know that you can look at different things different ways. You can. So what wisdom did you just get out of today's particular session?
Besides, I don't need to believe my own bullshit.
Besides that, yes. Yeah, what was the words? What do you need to focus?
It's starts with a D. Why can't I not keep it in my
Deficiency?
deficiency? I don't have to feel deficient. I don't have to still play out the story of abandonment, of grief, of all of that crap.
Right, she just said she's telling you that, so re-listen to this, she's telling you, the reason I feel deficient is because I got empowered and became important because I could pull a one-on-one on them and I can do the game plays and da-da-da-da-da, and you're going to take that away from me and I just learned this? So what are you talking about? And so when you got to 13 and 15, the middle ages, the middle stages, you kept it. You believed it was important.
Yeah. And it's not.
Well, it was then. What's that?
I love that glass.
Wine bottle glass? So the only thing it's ever seen is water and vitamin C. Occasional beer here and there, but no, he likes that glass. He brings out that one every time. We own other glasses. We break a lot, but we own a lot of other glasses. Okay, you are doing it. You don't. The little does not have to hold on to it, and you just keep telling her the metaphor about how the death thing, and you're not going to really lose them. So help her. You're gonna start seeing stuff. All I keep hearing is that you may be startled. That's why I jumped when he's doing this thing.
Charlie is so funny.
Now she can fly, but she would rather stay caged and with her boyfriend.
Aww.
She doesn't want to go anywhere. She's happy with her little life. Oh, they're gonna snuggle. Oh no, I don't know what they're doing. She must be invading his space. He's giving her the beak. I swear sometimes he tells her, "Woman, get away from me."
Sure, he did it.
He can do that. All right, honey, you did good. Even though this is not your typical healing, knowledge is just as important. Getting those epiphanies and,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much for always being there and donating those piffs. It helps out many people. And we will talk to you soon, okay? All right, bye.
Okay, love you.
Love
Bye.
you too. Bye. All right, now we're going to move on to Robyn. And Robyn is going to get one of the piffs. And now I have to remember how many piffs are left. And hopefully Judy or Ayme or I don't think Robyn. No, I don't think she does it, or Alan. But one of those two people are going to tell me. I forget who does what. But anyway, Robyn, I just noticed that as I pulled my pendulum over, they said decomp. I said decomp, what? And it is an emotional decomp. So I'll explain it to you in a physical decomp, okay? Physical decomposition is where the body's healthy or let's take a tree. So the tree is nice and healthy, blooms, and then all of a sudden it dies back and then falls over and starts to decay this way. Emotional decomp is you have an emotion that in this case is making you feel less than love. And so it's actually stopping you from progressing to be more health. And I said, where is that sitting? They said the triple warmer seems to be bothering the lung, which then affects the heart. So you got a story here. All right, hold on, I'll tell you. Behaviors, compulsion, and fanatical. So there's a mental statement or words that causes you to continuously focus, compulsion. So this is definitely a program of compulsion. So it's going to make you. So does this have a lot? No. Okay. Okay. You've heard of Robyn, have you ever heard of broken heart syndrome? Somehow this is connected to this, and having an experience can cause this on a physical level, but also with the actual heartbreak syndrome. It doesn't really cause physical, but it'll act as if you have it. So you've got two things, from what I can see, that the body then says, well, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if she actually heard that I'm talking to her. I'm not. Hold on. I got to figure out where the screen is. Let's try this again. Yes. Oh, okay. I had the wrong freaking screen. Okay. So does anything I'm say make sense so far, Robyn? Because what I'm getting is the triple warmer is saying that there was a time that someone tattled on you and it broke your heart, that whatever you were tattled on about, it was crushing because you didn't really either want them to know, or even though they knew, it was, they didn't care. I don't know exactly which way that looks. Something at 11 and another one at 17. So you have like two things. Now, the heart, one of them was, don't you love me? Don't you care? Your brain is like not able to fathom the care that you thought they should have given you. tell me if that makes sense. Because if that does, then I want you to do L2D, because it's like it made no difference. And everything went right back to certain routine. Oh, good. She knows what that is. So left wrist, L2D, because it's about, you're going to have to behave as if nothing happened. You're going to have to behave as if they were like the bystander and did nothing for you. It's like they left. You're just, what? Does that make sense? Now, the other part that I'm looking at is, how do I truly know somebody loves me if I'm carrying this impending doom? Now, this is where all of a sudden I want to do a compulsion. I can't stop moving, so my nerves are telling me something. There's something that you've been vividly recalling through the heart. You've been vividly recalling, going back to 11 and back to 17 again. And there's this, your body and every part of you has been trying to balance itself. This came up in the conversation. Oh, good. You know what I'm talking about. But it's like you want to balance this, and yet it's still incompatible. And it's like, what? So we want to help you get past the what? And this is where you're going to start using the heart. Left wrist, first position, date. Because there was a part of you that was just like, I'm crushed. And I don't care on the amount of confidence you've grown and done, those particular parts of your heart are just like, and this is part of where there's a vividness. So L1D that, okay? I said, is there anything else that you want to give her? They said, no, success as we will actually work. Okay. They said, just a thing, there's an excess of lofty energy, as if to say, shut it down, don't let anybody know. As if to say, I want you to feel how it's like eyeballs to eyeballs, connection. Where's my screen? You know. And you met with those eyes. And the connection was so powerful. It's like, I got the message. And you took it, and your heart is like, it's like, you're asking me to do what? Again, that's the heart, L1D. Powerful, thank you. Well, you're ready, and you're welcome, and I'm grateful that we were able to help. I'm grateful that we were able to help. Do I have what moderator? Oh. Judy, do I have another piff or not? Oh, she was aware. You do. Okay, so Jacob, are you here? Thank you, Spirit. Definitely. This is a huge one. You're ready to look at something, and I'm holding space for that so that you can achieve it with grace and ease. Jacob, okay. You're kind of like new to this stuff, and it's like, as you're looking, you're like, but I'm getting it, but I'm not getting it. But at the same time, you feel that soul's urge that is like, but I want to know more. I want something. And at the same time, you feel, if I don't begin to heal, I'm going to start behaving badly. So I feel like already that you are going, I miss me already. I don't, you got a taste of more of your balanced self at some point where you're like, this or better, and I know what better is, and this is not it. Can you follow me? Okay. So there's a part of you that says, why do I need to take offense? I know that takes me out of this space of better and happiness and joy? And it's a really good question. So what I'm going to have you do is that I want you to focus on how you take offense and how you have to live up to the standards of right and wrong. Now, this will be who wrote them? Your parents, tradition, culture, church, society. There's your basic. Don't take a life, love a life. There's your basic, but at the same time, it's like there's these rules that are about through the eyes only of those that are giving it. And if you don't do it, then they get the right to condemn you with that look. But what you do is you punish yourself. You judge yourself so harshly because you're looking at the standards to which they are for them, family. Okay. And you're like, but I have to follow that? If it's family? No, you don't. So start with, I'm doing it wrong. I'm not doing it the right way. And they're like, yeah. I want you to focus on how they think they know they're right. And that it's like, don't take away my voice. Before the child part would just take offense, but you don't have to do that. You're maturing on a different level. So take your left wrist. You're going to go down to your thumb, put your finger here, nice and soft, and your finger there. So it's left, L1, S, soft. And then you're going to do this, and I want you to get into how, oh my God, I know what it feels like to take offense. Measure that. Get that down. Then I want you to see that energy come at you of right way, wrong way, right way, wrong way, and that you're supposed to make yourself feel really bad because you didn't follow right to the letter of their expectations. Left wrist, first position, soft. Measure that, stick with it, measure it again. Oh, there's some left, stick with it till you get to 0. Then your body and you will start to recalibrate, and then more of your essence of really who you are, that love, that you'll start to have more of a heart-brain coherence where you're like, I don't have to be stressed to be in a family. I don't have to take offense to be in a family. I don't have to listen to them jam down these rules down my throat because I know I'm different. And it's okay. This is why I said it. You have to be okay if you're going to jump into your heart of love. When you start doing more heart-brain coherence, when you start to do the nature of returning to love, you're not going to have to live with that to which they say. So you have to be okay to lose your family and friends. They can be where they want to be, so you're going to add respect. Okay? But start healing and loving you, putting yourself as a priority, and things are going to be so much better. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ooh, I look forward to that, Robyn. Thank you. I look forward to it. Because that, when, connecting those dots always helps. When you're not sure what you're seeing, but you. Okay. All right. I think I covered everything, or everybody, and gave everybody the attention. I'm going to open up my mail one more time and double check that I haven't missed anybody. Let me check. I think we're good. Yep. I think we are. Okay. His brother is married to my niece. Oh, and they don't get along with him. Because you're probably a tie-dye sheep. You're not a black sheep. You're a tie-dye sheep. You think differently, and your here is to move and shake the world in a certain way with your soul. To put more love on the planet. Because again, we're returning. Once you start pulling away and see that they are programs, and you don't really want to be that, you're going to be breaking the ego matrix code. You're just going to go, I don't want to do that. And it's okay that you think that way. Love you, Brenda, and appreciate all you do for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I accept that. I accept that. And I accept that love to expand in all directions. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go. you guys have a good day. Hopefully you enjoyed my birds. That's Charlie and Sky. And I think I'm going to go put them in the cage and hose them down because it is very hot. We got a 98, which is in this corner. And 96 is over there. It's hotter here than it is over there, even though I got 2 fans on. Yes, blessed day. I am. Yes, so remember, hashtag resolve to evolve. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag healing is fulfilling. Hashtag thank you, Spirit. Hashtag birdies. They are a hoot. Yeah, they've been really noisy in the beginning, but they've calmed down. You're already blessed, you're already whole. So stay blessed and happy healing. Okay? I forgot to record today's show. Oh.